Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Talking about the Miami Dolphins and why I think this is a guaranteed win for the New England Patriots.
So you pound the table for that?
Yeah, I'm going to pound the table, sure.
Charles Woods is the cornerback that was claimed off of waivers right after.
Chuck E. Cheese, I think. Is that what we're calling it?
Chuck E. Cheese? Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. Mike and I have way too much time on our hands. Anyway.
How do you feel about the string rope on them? It seems popular now, but it makes me think of sailor caps. I agree. I hate that style.
I don't like them.
I hate it.
But that's, I'm old.
Yeah. This whole thing about, Josh is, it demands an accurate quarterback. We got to stop that. Every offense demands accuracy. My goodness.
Again, I know I'm being a whiny Patriots fan right now. It's just like, I don't want to lose to guys that used to be on our team, but I don't want to lose to guys who used to be on our team.
Traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels. This is hard to say.
Whole kernel kernel?
Whole corn kernels. Corn kernels. They use them, they're whole.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium and our final day to talk about this big matchup coming up down in Miami. Patriots playing the Dolphins, both teams 0-1. Both teams, well, I would say Miami really had a dud of a game, but both teams, very disappointed in the end result and the way the end result came about. So, I wouldn't say that both teams are desperate.
I would.
You would?
Yep.
Oh, really? In week 2?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get into why I think that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there's much of an argument that Miami's not desperate. I think the ship is sinking.
All right. Well, it's Alex, it's Deuce, it's me, it's Paul, it's Evan, it's Alex and Matt in the back pushing the buttons. So let's get
raising the roof, evidently.
Let's get into it. What news do we have since we signed off yesterday?
Injury report.
Big
Injury report. And that's not good. Let's go over that.
Yeah. Jump in on it.
So Christian Gonzalez, Morgan Moses, Harold Landry, Keon White, all sitting out practice yesterday. Foot injuries for the two veterans, but it's Wednesday. They're veteran players. I'm not super concerned about those two, but Gonzalez is still not practicing with the hamstring, and we might have seen him on the lower field yesterday, might have not, but still not out there with the team. So that's disappointing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
For sure. But we saw Morgan Moses in the locker room as we walked in yesterday.
I saw Landry as
It
well.
seemed like,
and
both those guys were managed throughout the summer, so I'm optimistic that both of them will be able to play, but those are important guys.
I would agree that I'm optimistic that they'll play, but I was a little taken aback when the report actually came out. I had seen everybody, and Evan had mentioned that those guys weren't out there. I kind of thought, veteran day off kind of thing. And then to see them both with actual injuries, I was like, ooh, that's not good. Now, I agree with both Mike and Evan. I feel like they'll play. But they're going to be playing with something.
Yeah.
And again,
Not
week
100%,
one,
yeah.
how I always say, NFL players, sneaky hard to make it through the season with an injury already and sort of stay healthy. It's when you open the season with an injury, that's tough.
And your bye isn't until late November.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping that it was going to be a veteran rest.
Yeah,
when
that's what
I
I
came
was
off
kind
the
of thinking.
practice field yesterday, I was like, two veteran guys. They've been managing all summer, probably just taking it easy on a Wednesday. But they did have injuries. Then Kayshon Boutte with that shoulder was limited in practice. I think was Marcus Jones was on there too, right? Or,
no.
Misremembering. There's
no
two
Marcus
other guys.
Jones. Christian Ellis, Marty Mapu.
I don't know.
Ellis with a shoulder, Mapu with a neck, and my boy.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, yeah. Full participation.
Charles Woods.
That just came to me yesterday. We always called Robert Woods Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees.
And then
I didn't make Bobby Trees up. That's what they call him.
But then yesterday we were jokingly just calling him Chucky, and then as you were talking about him, I'm like, he's a Woods. He could be a Trees too. So that was where that came from.
Yeah, so Mapu dealt with this neck injury last year. Seems like that's just something that he's going to have to manage.
Pain in the neck.
I hadn't thought about that. But
So it's interesting to see him back on there with a neck.
A lot of guys for the Dolphins, by the way, not practicing. It's a train wreck down there.
Yeah.
That 6 different guys didn't
Say
practice.
it. You want to say it? Go ahead, say it.
Well,
Storm Duck.
One of those not practicing was Storm Duck.
I'm pretty. Did he go
With
to
an ankle.
Oregon? I think he went to Oregon too, didn't he?
Did he really?
Did he go to Oregon? Storm Duck went to
I
Oregon?
may be
I
making that
think
up.
you
but-
have to go to Oregon if that's your name.
That's so funny.
Sounds like a made-up Madden player.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm create your own player. He's 6'6", 300 pounds, and runs a 4.340 Storm Duck.
No,
Something
he
like
didn't
that.
go to.
Didn't the
Oregon.
owner of the Miami Dolphins get tagged for, or at least accused of, offering Flores something for tanking games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Flores accused him of that.
Yeah, Flores accused him of that.
You think we might be in that territory again, Fred? Maybe we'll catch a little break.
Yeah,
You think they're tanking? Really?
I don't know.
For what?
Is this something
But,
off? Is
but
this something
we were talking
should
about
maybe
this.
talk about
we were
off
talking
air?
about this before the show yesterday, and you were talking about how Miami's been decimated by injuries,
Yeah.
particularly in the secondary. And I was trying to remember, didn't they let some guys leave in the offseason? And I heard,
But are you talking like free agents?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that they chose
Ramsey,
not to.
Yeah.
Well, they traded Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah,
And
right.
but they
Jonnu
got
Smith.
Minka Fitzpatrick back.
Yeah, but I thought they lost 2 notable guys in their secondary. They got
By free agency, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about letting guys go.
Did
Like everybody loses free agents.
oh yeah,
Javon Holland, right?
Yeah, who had the worst grade, evidently, in the history of football in Week 1, by the way.
yeah. But-
And then Ramsey gone. Offensively, Teron Armstead retired.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then they traded Jonnu Smith, which I still don't really fully understand why they did that because he was a big time weapon for them last year.
And that's another one of those, like, you in one hand, you say, well, we can let Jonnu Smith go. We don't want to sign him. And then you take Darren Waller off the scrap heap of retirement
And he's
and
hurt,
say,
yeah.
oh, that's going to be the replacement. And, oh, by the way, big surprise, he couldn't play Week 1.
Yeah.
he might
Yeah,
not play.
Maybe
for a
that's what I'm
while.
thinking
Yeah.
about. Like they let guys go, and then they brought guys to replace that clearly weren't as good.
Yeah, the Jonnu one was always interesting to me because he was like the perfect complement to Hill and Waddle, like a tight end that that can kind of do the underneath, over the middle stuff and catch and run with the football in that offense. And he had a great year for them last year. And he traded him to Pittsburgh, and I was like, "What are you?"
Jonnu, he just can't seem to find a home.
Yeah.
Like he comes here, it doesn't really work.
He's
and he
a
finds Miami.
Pro Bowl tight end for them last year.
Atlanta, right? And then, hey, it's clicking for me. And they're like, "Yep, we're gonna trade you."
Oh, he's back with Arthur Smith now. He'll be fine. His boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say that the situation in Miami is worse than here.
Yeah,
I
well,
would say they're more desperate than
Yeah.
us for a win.
Yeah.
Just
They've
the
been
coaching
established.
implications too.
I mean, you can make the excuse for the Patriots that they're all new coaches and they're rebuilding, but this McDaniels and iteration of the Dolphins, this is starting to hit some bumps. And Tyreek Hill hasn't had a 30-yard pass in over a year. I mean, are they still going to be able to resuscitate it, or is it just gone bland? And can they recapture that magic that we've seen plenty of times against the Patriots? But I think a lot of the people outside around the league have a much different view of the Dolphins than I do because they've seen the Dolphins not be able to beat the good teams, and I've only
Seen them beat
firsthand
us.
just watched
Right.
them have their way with the Patriots. And the last performance we had had
But that's really the
4
same
touchdowns,
view,
and yeah.
You have the
They're
same
beating
view
the bad
as
team.
everybody
Right.
around the
Well,
league.
but I'm just like, man, he's awesome. And then you watch these games against the bad teams,
Correct.
and you're like, they can't do anything, or the good teams. I'm sorry, and you see the difference.
I think that's one of the national narratives that is dead on. They
Yeah.
can't win in cold weather on the road, and they can't beat
Their
good,
record
they can't
against
beat good teams.
like teams that would go on to be over 500 or make the playoffs or something like that under McDaniel
Is bad.
Is
Yeah.
bad. But when you turn on their film, they still are fast. I mean, they still got a ton of team speed on offense, especially in that three-headed monster, Hill, Waddle, A-Chain. Those guys are as explosive as anybody in the NFL. And I still felt that way watching them last week, even though they didn't score any points. Like, you still see those 3 dudes flying around on offense, and if you're not careful, like, they'll come out and bite you.
Aside from last week, would you say the Patriots on paper are better suited to deal with that speed this year?
without
I don't
Gonzalez,
think so.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
No John Jones either. John Jones, you saw. I mean, I don't know how he would have fared this year. He's a lot older than when he used to be able to hang
so's
with
Tyreek, though.
Tyreek Hill. But you're right.
Yeah.
But John Jones was really fast to throw on Hill and kind of contain him for years. So
Yeah.
at least we
Yeah, he
back
was one of
row.
the best guys in the league at covering
Yeah.
Hill. They used to say track guys, put the track guys on the track guys.
Yeah.
And, that was Jonathan Jones. But I really feel like with Tua, though, it's the middle of the field and it's attacking the linebackers in coverage. Like, that's how he always dices the Patriots up, is those in-breakers and the crossers over the middle, and it's Jelani Tavai and Jawan Bentley trying to cover in space.
Well,
and
in that respect, are they better suited now?
I would
Not
like
last week.
I would like to think so, but to Paul's point, like, I don't think those linebackers
That's where
played
they
very
attacked
well.
last week.
Yeah, played very well last week, so we'll see. But in theory, that's the idea. Like, that's the way that they've built the defense and what's supposed to happen if this goes right for Mike Vrabel. But it didn't necessarily look that way last week.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest like head scratchers I have, not to bring Bill Belichick up, but how did he never solve Tua? Like, just a guy that was known early in the going, like, he's
Some
he's
might say he
confounded
was
Peyton
kinda
Manning.
overrated.
But at least, like, I mean, I could say that, but maybe the least thing you'd
No,
give
I
him
know,
is that
I'm
he's
being
a
snarky,
good
you know.
defensive coordinator and that he
Yeah.
would understand how to shut a guy down. And if he faced him, I guess it would be 6 times, that he
I
didn't
think
have any answers for
Tua
him ever.
is going to be, and this is a different kind of an argument, but I think he could go down as one of the most sort of enigmatic,
Yeah.
polarizing is probably not the right word, but
Confusing.
well, just I don't know, misunderstood talents. Like, is he good? Is he not good? Is it a product of the speed in the system? Because you're right. You see what he does. You see how he throws with anticipation. He kind of doesn't have a big league arm. It looks like you could probably get a few picks every once in a while, but yet he has a lot of success. And like you said, like Belichick is obviously a tremendous defensive mind, and he never really seemed to come up with the real and to neutralize.
I've compared Tua in the past to Drew Brees. I see a lot of similarities in their game. Do you agree?
I see a little
I
bit.
think
yeah,
they
like,
both throw with
sure.
a lot of
Anticipation and-
anticipation. I know why you
About the
see
same
that.
height.
Now
Yeah.
Breeze is a lot better.
Oh,
but,
yeah, well,
yeah.
about
yeah,
the sa-
I understand why you're making that
everything
comp.
seems similar, but so then why Brees had so much more success than Tua? Like, why is that? Like, I see their games as very similar.
Breeze couldn't win the big ones either.
I'm with you.
No, he won one big
And
one.
played
Yeah, he did.
inside.
Yeah.
But they when Tua was coming out of college, I would say more post hip injury than pre hip injury. But when he was coming out of college, like the ceiling comp was Drew Brees for a lot of people, like lefty Drew Brees.
Okay,
obviously.
so I'm right.
But,
Oh, I
well,
totally-
but that was what he was going to
Got an eye
be
for
if,
talent for
if he was
What, the
hit
fact
his
that I said
ceiling.
I could see what your comp is coming from, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there was
had your
a lot
back,
of that.
bro. I had your back.
There was
Okay,
a lot
so
of
I'm
lefty
right.
Drew Brees comps in college, but I think a big reason for, and I know Drew Brees had some injuries too, but his out of structure playmaking went out the window when that hip injury happened in college. And it turned him in. He's a great in structure quarterback, but he doesn't have the mobility or the arm talent anymore to create out of
So
structure.
the difference
I totally
maybe
agree
then
with that.
is the injuries.
Well, for both, but they
But
both
Brees had the-
Brees
had
had a career-changing injury.
Yeah, the rotator
Yeah.
cuff
Yeah,
injury was
okay.
bad. But I just think that's early Alabama Tua was a dual threat quarterback, and he could run.
I loved Tua
Yeah, he
at
was.
Alabama.
I mean, he's incredibly talented. That's why everybody thought he was going to go number 1 overall in that draft before he got hurt. When he injured the hip, his mobility went out the door a little bit. So he's great in structure, though. I mean, he's really good running this offense. He really understands all the motions and the deception that they're trying to do. He's great with play faking. He's throws with anticipation, like Paul said, probably better than any quarterback in the league. But if you can get him off the spot, off the first read, off the middle of the field, and just kind of make him make plays, then you have a chance against him.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Patriots were never able to do it or haven't been able to do it. I'd probably go back to team speed. Like, I just think they've been so much faster than the Patriots on offense that's been a big problem.
But also the Patriots have made some epic mistakes down there in games. You know, fumbling near the goal line, the Gronk, the famous.
Pre-Tua.
But none of that had anything to do with Tua.
No, but if you look at the history of the Patriots in Miami, it's been some really odd games.
But the games against Tua have been really conventional games that Miami's just been the better team.
Especially the last one.
The last, I mean, there was
Last one was a
one.
blowout.
There was one where like the opener that year, Mac Jones, I think the 20-7, I want to say.
Yep.
It was like there was
I was there, and it was
where it was a strip sack on the goal line, which might be, but like that
was
was
like-
just Miami was better.
Yeah.
Like
from the first play of the game on.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Well, that was
oh,
the game
crap,
last
this
year,
is how this is
too.
gonna go.
yeah, and that's. I'm kind of with Mike. You just watch the way that they play, and I have tons of respect for the ability of Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So I'm not telling you it should be easy to just shut those guys down, but like it's 4th and 6, and they're going to go for it in like the 40-yard line. And not only you allow Waddle to catch the pass, but he's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how do you let that happen? You know?
Yeah.
And it just would scratch. Like you said, it's a head scratcher because
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it should be that hard to control him.
Well, so
And they
everybody
haven't really been able to.
everybody says, if you can pressure Tua, maybe that's the problem with some teams, and including us, is that you tend to like focus so much on that if you don't get home, you get burned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll give you one thing. Like you made the comment like 5 minutes ago about like, are they better suited today to do this? That might be an area that they are different. And Bill's philosophy, and certainly Mayo last year, was a little bit more aligned the way that they always played. They didn't really want to get after the passer, right? They're containing him in the pocket. They're not being overly aggressive after Tua. Based on 1 week and what we saw all summer, this team might be, the defense might be set up a little bit differently. Maybe they will get a little bit more aggressive in getting after Tua.
Yeah,
hope so.
especially Williams and Barmore,
Yeah,
which I think
right.
is really where because you don't have time to get the edge pressure there. Like his release is too quick, and he's not going to let you run around the arc and have Harold Landry and Caleb on Chase on ruin this game for him. It's going to have to be the guys up the middle that get that immediate interior push. And that's exactly what happened on the pick last week, is that there was a push up the middle, probably DeForest Buckner, pushing up the middle, and kind of similar to Drake's pick where he couldn't fully step into the throw and he sailed it and he airmailed the throw over the receiver's head. Those are the types of things that you see in the past when teams have interior pressure up the middle quickly and they can get him to throw off his back foot, then you might have some success.
Yeah, which wasn't a big part of the Patriots' old defense when you had interior two-gappers and,
Right.
build the wall, and just something that I always thought was, a big part of it. And you guys mentioned a little bit, but like, Spillane, the speed. I think Reese wrote a little bit about Spillane feeling like not knowing Chip Kelly's offense last week hurt him because he's kind of a film study guy and needs to know what's coming. And I think Reese was kind of implying that this is an offense that he at least understands better and he'll maybe have a little bit better of a beat on. But to your point, Paul, like that play on Waddle, the middle of the field, Evan's been talking plenty about it. You're going to need some plays from Spillane, especially in coverage too.
So a good 18 minutes for Freddie, though. He's got the Tua Breeze comp, and then he's like, well, so better suited defensively with their style.
We're giving a great preview, I feel.
Spillane's really
good solid
player.
18 minutes, Freddie.
Okay.
Okay.
How did I
don't
do in
leave-
the picks?
Don't you guys did well in the picks.
Oh, Paul.
Someone did. It was week 1 for one person.
That's weird. That's weird. Resign Paul. One more point, though,
It
on
was
this is like
exceptionally good for one specific person.
Like,
we'll get to that later.
weather game against Josh Allen,
be
but
here
that
to
other one a
close,
couple
so.
years ago where Ramondre gets
wasn't you.
the big final drive. Like, they were at least able to beat Josh Allen a couple times. Like, yeah, I know that the win game was bizarre.
No, but you're right.
they've gotten kind of just, it's one of those days.
No,
and
you're
it
right.
happens. But just doesn't seem to happen with Tua.
It was 2 years ago, right? They had
Yeah,
a
yeah.
conventional win here,
Yeah.
where Mac Jones' only
Right.
real last-second win.
Comeback.
That's why, like, if you see Tyreek have like a 30-plus yard catch in this game, then you're going to be like, oh, boy. Like, not today, please.
So, obviously, last week, one of the big things coming out of that game was giving up those big plays.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there's going to be an emphasis this year to not do that.
Yeah.
But when that becomes the focus, does it make you vulnerable elsewhere?
I mean, my instinct would be you don't have to be like your hope would be attack the right side of their line. That's going to be backups, and you paid Milton Williams, you paid Christian Barmore. Like Evan pointed out, this is the time to shine. Like this is where you need those guys to rush for and have the personnel available on the back end with 7 guys to play with coverage a little bit and clog up the middle. And don't let those guys even when they're making those catches on those slants. Like Paul pointed out with that Waddle one, we've seen that a couple times where it's gone. So you got to tackle too, even when they make those passes. But
Now they're
ideally, I
cover
think you're
zero
getting
blitz.
pressure with 4 and you're dominating those interior guys, getting right in his lap, and make him have to force it a little bit. Then mistakes come.
Yeah, I do worry a little bit about their run game. Ingold, their fullback's a really good player. Vrabel talked about him yesterday, and Achan is a really good runner too. And they like to go heavy, and then they kind of do what you give them. If you run nickel, then they're going to run it at you. If you're in base, then they're going to throw it on you. And that's where you can have issues because you get those linebackers in coverage against the speed, and it's mismatches all over the field. So how they match 21 personnel or 2 back formations is going to be big in this game because I think Miami's going to probably put heavy personnel on the field and then hope the Patriots match that with base, and then you get the speed of the Patriots off the field.
I mean, maybe they just kind of swap Tonga in as the second defensive tackle, and maybe have a little bit more of a rotation. So you're not going
even
full
they ran
base.
some like 5-man bear fronts on Sunday, and like maybe they'll do some of that where the guard, center guard all covered. I think that's something that they could do. It's an outside zone run scheme.
Yeah.
So if you can hold up the center and you hold up the backside guard there from the reach block, then you can usually try to get some penetration on that scheme. But I think Tonga should just play more in general. Like I thought he was really good in the game last week. Great all summer. I think he needs to play more. Maybe they're worried about at his size, like conditioning and stuff like that. But that's the chess match. If they go 21 and they put big formations out there, they're going to throw out of that if you're in base. But can you stop the run out of nickel? Like that's going to be the real problem.
I remember stopping the run and sub-run defense was like a huge problem. Like, I don't know, like 2011, 2012. I remember it was like that was the talking point that year.
It was
like,
a huge problem for them last year.
They couldn't stop the run out of sub packages.
Yeah, it's a huge problem for them last year. And remember games like the 49ers game, Shanahan just put 2 tight ends and Juszczyk on the field and threw out of heavy groupings, and they didn't have the coverage ability out of base.
Too slow.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcasts@patriots.com is the email address. We're going to have to do picks at the end of the show, so we do have to hurry. So let's give some time for our listeners to weigh in on whatever they want to weigh in on. Jacob's in Illinois. Hey, Jacob. Jacob.
Hey, can you guys hear me good?
Yep.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yep.
Oh, Eldred.
Okay.
No.
What's going on, Jacob?
No, not quite.
All right.
Another trucker.
Okay.
Hold on, is that any better?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so first off, I'm going to give my weigh in on picks for Miami. I'm going to say Pats by 4, 24-20. And I'm really hoping that the team backs up my talk because I met a Dolphins fan at a truck stop yesterday, and I talked a big game. So please don't make me look the fool.
Right. What are you hauling, Jacob?
Currently empty at the moment.
What was it?
He's
Oh,
empty.
or you're empty. Okay. All right.
Yes. But in better news, at 11 o'clock last night, I became an uncle for the first time.
Oh, congratulations.
Excellent.
Thank you. But I now have a question for the panel relating to this. So, neither of her parents care about football at all. I am obviously the Patriots fan of the family, but my other brother is a Green Bay Packers fan. Her grandparents are Bears fans. So my question to you is, how do I gently nudge my new niece to the path of righteousness?
Oh my God, who the hell
Father
cares?
Fred, Pastor Paul, the Diocese Deuce, I require your aid in this holy
Well, I would get the little bear with the Patriots jersey on, get the Patriots onesie.
Get a rivalry windbreaker.
Yeah,
her.
I
I think
mean,
they
like-
Alex had talked
Wait,
about
Jacob,
it.
They
is
have
it a
that in
little?
Yeah.
Is it a baby girl or a boy? You said
The girl, right?
it's a girl.
Yeah.
I would get. I mean, maybe in a couple months when she's a little older, the cute little cheerleading outfit for babies that they have in the pro shop. Little girls love that. So get her one of those for sure. And just make the most of your quality time with the baby.
Yeah, and just as she gets older, make sure that you're over there on Sundays so
Yeah.
that hopefully, if the Patriots are on TV, make sure she's sitting on your knee watching, and you can explain things to her, and just make the case.
Yeah.
Make the case. You're going to have to work hard because you got, Chicago Bear fans, you got Packer fans. You're going to have to compete, and they're a lot closer.
Yeah, talk a lot of crap about Jordan Love and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Just off,
Yeah.
Jordan Love.
I mean, I remember when my son was a little kid, he saw Terrell Davis on Sesame Street, and he became a Broncos fan. It was just that easy.
Yeah.
Was it because of your Randy Gradishar shirt?
No. He just saw Terrell Davis on Sesame Street, and he became a Broncos fan. So look for those opportunities.
We need a children's show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wasn't
Or
given
some
a
books.
choice.
Huh?
I wasn't given a choice. If you're gonna grow up in this household, you're gonna like
Right.
There was no gentle nudge.
Celtics,
Thanks,
Bruins,
Jacob.
Patriots, Red Sox, and if you don't, then go someplace else.
I became an uncle for the second time today.
Paul, what?
Not today,
Oh.
25 years ago.
I was
on
gonna
the
say,
same day.
wow.
It's the
And,
anniversary of your
Yeah,
unclehood.
yeah. So, but he said like 11 o'clock last night, so
Yeah.
that would still technically be the 10th.
Yeah.
So it was today.
It'd be cool to be an uncle before you're a dad. That wasn't. I didn't.
It is cool.
Dad
You know
first.
what? And I took advantage of it. Oh,
Yeah.
I riled them up.
Yeah. And
My,
then,
nie-
all
my
right, see
niece
ya.
and nephew, I would go over. Thursday nights were like, that was Paul time.
Oh yeah.
90210. Watch a little 90210 with my brother and my sister-in-law, and I get the kids all riled up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys later. And I'd leave, and they'd be wide awake.
That was my dad too. My cousins on that side of the family, a bunch of boys. There's like 4 boys, and my dad. They're all older than me. My dad would go over and brought like a whole boxing set, and he just started having boxing contests between all the cousins, and then fight club, and then leave.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time, and you'd also get to like a little snapshot of that world.
Yeah, right.
And then
You
it
don't
kind
have
of
to
puts
put
in
'em to bed or
perspective
feed 'em
of
or change
like,
diapers or
am I
anything.
ready for this? Like to
Yeah.
be me? And I just like watch my sister. I'm like,
Nope.
I don't know.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it was the one, Tyler, the one that was here for training camp.
Mhm.
He's the one. Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Tyler.
birthday.
Oops.
That one Boston fan writes in, is there more pressure now for Drake May to win this Dolphins game than there was for him to win that Raiders game?
I think there's a little more pressure on here. I think that all you've heard this week is how don't lose to this team. Don't lose to this Miami team. They're in disarray.
Oh, boy.
They've packed it in. They're not. Fred just said that they're tanking.
Yeah.
Don't lose to this team.
I didn't say they were.
I think
I
think that puts a
brought
lot
that
of,
up.
I think that puts a lot of pressure on the Patriots, and I think that you asked about the desperate factor. I think you need to win a game where all of a sudden everybody's expecting you to win.
Yeah.
I think that makes you a little bit desperate. Yeah,
Patriots are underdogs, though.
they are.
So we expected, or I expected, but Vegas doesn't.
No,
I don't expect them to win.
Although, what is it, 1.5?
1.5. Yeah.
So really, they're
And they're
1.5
underdogs.
favorites.
Very good.
Can we really just stop with that at some point?
Gotta put it in the book.
No, but you get 3,
It's more like 2.5 these days.
2.5.
Yeah.
Even when it's
Okay.
hot
The
out.
same conversation.
Even when it's hot.
every year.
Thursday.
Like 2.5.
But what I'm saying is, if Miami was really the favorite, it would be 4.
Right.
And let's,
Yeah, we know.
I think there's a lot of people like I get the
So the Raiders were really the favorite last week?
Yes,
Oh,
Of course.
Of course.
there's a lot of people that are overlooking this Dolphins team because they think the house is on fire.
Oh,
now.
boy.
Yes.
That's why I
boy.
think there's some pressure on the
But,
Patriots.
but that's literally the only reason why people are
Yeah.
feeling that way is because they think that they're in disarray. It's not the talent. Like it's not the two teams on the field. It's
Right.
we're assuming that McDaniel's
I
run
totally
is
agree with
over.
you. I totally understand what you're talking about. But I think if you listen to everybody around here, don't lose this game.
Right. That's why it's gonna be miserable next week if they do lose.
Yeah.
To the
Don't lose this
yeah,
game.
That's how they're
Look
setting
out
it up,
below
but-
if they lose this game.
Right. And then, but the little bit of the counter will be like, hey, it's a really hard place to play. The Dolphins got back on track, and expecting Drake May and 12th start of his career to go down to Miami and beat any Dolphins team is a tough ask, I think.
Well, at the same time, he's got to do it one eventually.
He sure does.
And not just Miami. Like he has to win some games.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
He's started 12 games and he's won 1. Like at some point, we have to see the ball go through the hoop a couple times for him.
Yep.
That's the
Stacy
truth.
in Indiana Miami obviously loves to use motion to create leverage and force defenses to declare coverage.
Ball nowhere.
Do you think the Patriots should try to counter that by disguising late, or should they just stick to the script, so to speak, and stay disciplined to avoid getting burned by Hill, Waddle, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, there's two different schools of thought with motion. Like you either travel with the motion or you play zone to both sides and you just kind of stay home and catch the motion on the other side of the formation. There are things that you can do, like you can travel with the motion and then actually fall out into zone and maybe disguise it that way, and they think it's man. But with Miami, I think that's hard because their motion isn't motion to I wouldn't really call it motion to decipher coverage. They're motioning to get their skill players head starts into the play, which is a little bit different than shifting when you're shifting to as a coverage indicator to the quarterback. So they're motioning and they use what's called cheat motion. They actually get flagged for it sometimes, where Hill is actually kind of going up the field already when the ball is snapped. So they're just trying to get him out of the gate and give him a head start. So if you disguise and then you say, okay, well, when they motion, we're actually going to fall out of it and it's not going to be man-to-man coverage, I do think that's difficult to do. So I would probably stick to your sides and just catch the motion and not travel with it, but I'm interested to see what they do.
Yeah. Mike and the OC would love to get the panel's picks on my over-under props.
Okay.
May rushing touchdowns, hey.
I'm going to go over it.
Yeah, go over on that one.
I think I'm going to try to incorporate him more in that way.
Okay. Diggs receptions,
I'll say
4 and a
under.
hay.
Yeah.
I'll take the over on
I'll
that.
take the over.
Okay. Trevion rushing touchdowns, hey.
Under.
Under.
Tough one.
He
Okay.
catches one.
Hunter Henry receptions, 4 and a hay.
I'll take the over on
Over.
that.
And Tua interceptions, 1 and a hay.
Under.
He says, I'm taking the over on all of them. Patriots finally win in Miami in a close one, 24-21.
If all of those things go over and the game is close, something somewhere else went terribly wrong.
Because I think we got like 3 Patriots touchdowns accounted for, and at least
You have two
interceptions from
two
Tua.
touchdowns. You have 2 receivers getting at least 5 catches, and you have the other quarterback throwing at least 2 interceptions, and you only win the game by a field goal?
Eek.
Yeah.
Something else went terribly wrong somewhere.
Old School writes in, we spent all offseason hearing about arm length. From the one-game sample, Will Campbell looks like he can play. Paul is right, as you don't know until you see a player in a game. Looking forward to watching how he develops in future games. So there you go.
Some of us knew.
I didn't see that, but whatever.
So, Mark writes in Mac Jones's second year, my memory states that his first throw of the first game, or at least very early, he threw an out which took an absolute age to get there. It was that moment that made me go, not good enough, we need someone else. No, May isn't there, but the May high throws that sail, May sprays, credit dues, really worry me. Missing high will consistently lead to turnover-worthy plays. Do you think that will come under control by midseason?
Hope so. It should.
It's just interesting to me that it was better last year. Like he really had much better accuracy for most of last year. And I do wonder if by halfway through the season, when the comfort level in the system comes along and hopefully he feels more comfortable within the offense, that his mechanics will get back to a better place like they were last year. But I would remember that Mac Jones pick, trap corner, tried to beat the trap corner with the ball, and the ball did not beat the trap corner.
No, I
Big
mean
six.
you talked about it a little bit with Drake in his press conference. I'm not sure like how many fans realize like how tied to the offense, footwork, mechanics, all of that is to the timing of the offense, and that's what I think he talked about yesterday is getting his footwork matched up with Josh's offense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of just look at him, the footwork is it sloppy, right? But really it's about timing the drop to the routes, because then it's rhythmic. Like if you try, when he hits the top of his drop, when he's looking at his first read, the receiver should be at the top of the route and starting to come out of the break. And that way there he can throw in rhythm to different guys. And if that isn't tethered together, the drop and the route, then you have an issue. And you're either rushing it to get it out there like he said he was, or you're holding on to the football.
I'm going to write some of this stuff down for my flag football team, if you don't mind, some coaching points.
Gotta tether the routes with the drops.
Start to get my playbook together.
Eric in Fort Meade, Maryland. Thank you, Eric, for your service, I assume. I know we have picks, but I have a bone to pick with you. This aggression will not stand, man. He's talking to me. I cannot stand idly while you besmirch bell bottoms, as you did a brief moment yesterday. At the start of my career in the Navy, the working uniform were dungarees, which were denim bell bottoms.
Dungies.
After a few washes, they were quite comfortable, accentuated my manly form, which my future wife appreciated, and allowed me to leave my boots on for quick and easy removal. Sounds strange, but a nice option to have. That being said, I'm sure my new rivalry gear hooded sweatshirt will be just as comfortable as I enjoy a cold Bud Light sitting in my recliner from a Bob's Discount Furniture, watching the Patriots defeat Miami 24-20.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for your service.
While reflecting upon the
Yeah.
Massachusetts 250.
No, I
campaign.
think obviously the Navy is well known for their bell bottoms.
Yeah. So what'd you go off on bell bottoms for, Fred?
I just said, like we
We're
were talking
talking
about the flat brim caps, and I said
yeah.
people who wear those now, 20 years from now, are going to be like, "What was I thinking?" The same
Wow.
way people
Shots
who wore
fired.
bell bottoms.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
brought
well-
up like some of the, like the champion sweatshirt over the champion turtleneck.
Oh,
good.
that doesn't
like
look.
Yeah,
you look-
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that
Maybe
was
a chain
and
on the
he
outside.
goes, well, that's like a townie look. I go, I was a townie. I was remembering.
Well, we were all townies in some respect,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
yeah.
every single athlete wears flat brim hats now, so I guess
know.
they're all not cool.
Well, do you think all the athletes that wore the sorry, Alex.
Everybody wore
the
bell
hats that
bottoms
look
in
like
the
someone
70s.
threw up on them.
Yeah.
Think they were cool. Like they all. That's
No.
the
Yeah,
stuff in
but
the starter stuff.
My
in the
point
90s
is, everybody
was
wore bell bottoms in the
ugly.
70s, but
Yeah.
now they look back and it's like, oh, I look like such a fool.
Well, in
Right.
the
it's
70s,
coming
they
back.
were cool.
I know. Well, that's
Right, but that some things are everlasting. There's some styles that are ageless.
Timeless.
A white,
Yeah.
a white T-shirt.
Bell bottoms is not one
No.
of them.
Okay.
Little black dress
fair
too.
enough.
Little back dress. I've been alive long enough now, though, to realize that like jeans are just it's on a cycle, and if
Yeah,
you can
10
just
years.
get like
It's a
5
10-year
pairs
cycle.
of jeans that you really like, you could probably now
Exactly.
I got my skinny jeans; those will come back in about 10 years, and then now where everybody's got the wide leg
Yep.
straight down to
I'm
the bottom.
wearing jeans that I wore in high school again
There you
because I
go.
kept them.
So yeah, that's what you got to do. I'm like, I wish I never got
I
rid of
It's
retired.
mine.
also
I
a
don't wear
mild
jeans
flex
anymore.
that she's still in shape.
I do still fit into them.
Yeah, that was
They actually
mild
fit
flex.
better now than they did then.
Oh,
Not a big deal.
Oh,
Okay.
confidence.
You're supposed to sniff after you do that.
Hair flip.
There you go.
Hairflit snip.
Chris in Virginia, after the last game, there was some pessimism around the team. Going into this weekend's fixture, can each of you give one reason to be positive for the season ahead, and you can't repeat a reason? I'll give mine. In Vrabel's career as a player and head coach, 6 times he's lost the opening fixture and gone on to have an above 500 season. This includes the 01 and 03 seasons, so let's be positive. A new week of games is here. Learn, grow, and let's go. So one reason why you're
Mine is
positive.
Mine is it's just week 2. It's just week 2. There's time to get the train rolling, and nothing has been decided yet, so there's still time to get it all moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think I have faith in Vrabel and Josh McDaniels and their ability to adjust and adapt and start to learn about this team and what this team does well and what it doesn't do well. And I think their talent, last couple of years, I don't think they've had the talent to make big adjustments that could really help them win football games. I do think the talent's a little bit more improved this time. So to the emailer's point, let's give it 4 or 5 weeks, and then at some point in September, hopefully Josh and Mike Vrabel come together and they're like, let's scrap this, let's do this, let's make this our identity, let's make this our focus, and then hopefully they can start doing that well, and that's when the wins will come.
Alex, you have one?
Yeah. I would say it's just there's a lot of fresh faces and new energy and people. I don't know. I felt like last year guys just got to a point where they were complacent with all the losing, and I don't think you can have that on a football team.
Yeah, and the youth would be a reason to suggest that won't happen because
Right.
these guys are still fighting for their careers. So they won't pack it in. I would just go with Drake May. I think he's too talented to play the way he did last week. I think he'll get better. The more experience he gets, the more comfortable he gets in this offense. I just think I believe in the talent. I believe in his skill set. I think he'll get better, and that's my reason for optimism.
Yeah, along those same lines, I'll say that I'm optimistic because of Josh McDaniels. I think kind of he sees what happened last week with Drake and he'll make adjustments.
Kind of Evans, but all right.
We can share it.
We were asked
Okay.
not to repeat one.
We can repeat
Okay.
it.
All right.
So the first 18 minutes are over. Gone downhill since.
But-
I'm not
we,
listening anymore.
we always talked about the extension of the preseason in September as kind of like a Bill thing.
Yeah.
And I think Vrabel and Josh are kind of cut from the same cloth. Like,
No, I think the whole league does it now.
I think that they're kind of the same way where like by like October around Halloween, they're going to kind of really know what the team is and what they have and what they're able to do successfully and do well. And then they'll lean into whatever that is, if that's throwing the ball, if that's running the ball, if it's, blitzing all the time on defense or not, maybe that's what we
Remember last year, week 1, week 2, scoring's down. Defenses are catching up.
Right.
And then, the season unfolds and it really doesn't unfold that way. And it's the same thing now.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of games that were under the total in week 1 and defenses catch it. I think it's what Evan's talking about.
Right.
I think there's a lot of these teams, you don't hit a lot in preseason. The frontline guys don't play a lot in the preseason, and no one's offense is in midseason form when the season starts. There was like a handful of games that, like the Baltimore Buffalo game, where the talent is just too immense to stop anybody. But everybody else looked like, they're shaking the rust off of a lack of activity during the summer.
the defenses are, I think, taking more chances now. And we saw it here with all the blitzing that the Patriots did. But I feel like defenses now are realizing like they're going to land some punches. Like it's just too hard to cover all these guys and to play defense nowadays to think that we're just going to be the 85 Bears out here and shut everybody out. So I feel like they are more aggressive to pressure quarterbacks, take the ball away. And like almost like that's now becoming the it thing on defense is like negative plays and turnovers. Like, can you produce those two things? And you might give up 9 explosive plays.
X's.
But if you have X amount of sacks and X amount of turnovers and X amount of tackles for loss, you might feel like you still had a good day on defense. And I feel like we see that across the league.
All right, 855-PATS-500. Let's go back to the phones. Christian's in L.A. What's up, Christian?
Hey, you guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, so I'm going to go ahead and let's say play the tape forward 4 weeks, and let's say we are 0-4 at worst, 1-3, something of that nature. Question: do you guys see anybody out there that you think would shake loose that could make a noticeable difference, put us back on a playoff trajectory? And then I have a game for you guys. Drake May, at best, will be what quarterback, and at worst will be what quarterback. And for my game prediction, I have the Patriots winning 20-17.
Okay, thanks, Christian.
Positivity.
I don't know, like, who could shake loose after week 4.
No, I don't. I just
I don't know.
they need legit talent. Like, getting another 3-4 receiver or a rotational defensive end or that. Like, those aren't going to move the needle for this.
And
team.
the guys that do move the needle, that shake loose, they shake loose for a reason. Like right now, you're hearing a lot of talk about Tyreek Hill, and potentially is Miami just had enough of him, and they're going to get
I was
rid
going
of
to
him.
say, if we're 1-3 and Miami's 0-4, maybe they.
But they're not going to. But he's not going to come to the Patriots. The Patriots are not going to get Tyreek Hill if they're 1-3.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense
Why?
because they're 1-3. They're not going to take a guy who's going to give you all kinds of bad publicity when you're 1-3. Like, it's not worth it.
What about winning games?
It's
I'm not-
that's my point. If they were
Okay.
3-1, then you bite the bullet and say, he's kind of a pain, but he could help us, and we can maybe make a run.
So
here.
you're giving up at 1-3.
I'm not giving up, but yeah.
Okay. I'm not giving up at 1-3.
And I also think there's
No
only a
way.
select amount of teams that would take on Tyreek Hill
No,
at
I
this
know.
point, and I don't think
But
the
what about-
Patriots are one of them.
So the only reason you're saying don't take Tyreek Hill is because of this baggage.
Yes.
What about a player
course.
that
I mean,
doesn't have
this
the
week he
baggage at
was
1-3?
in the news for
Would you pick up a
another-
player that you think can
Yes.
help?
If I thought there was a player that was worth.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not
Yes.
giving up.
Well, on the season that's different. But
That's
I would.
what I mean.
But if I can acquire a good player,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
want
so
to
you're not
acquire
giving
good
up.
players.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not acquiring him because I think he's going to make me a playoff team this year if I'm 1-3.
From 1-3. And
I'm
how's-
acquiring him
yeah.
because I need good players. I need to rebuild. I need to get better. I need
what's
to help
his-
my quarterback.
Yeah, what's his frame of mind coming to a 1-3 Patriots team
Yeah.
from an 0-4 Dolphins team? Is he going to even be that guy that they would need him
Yeah,
to
just
be?
like I can understand why they were interested in, big money. They were interested in Ronnie Stanley, paying
Yeah.
a lot of money for a left tackle. They were interested in Chris Godwin. they were interested in giving him a lot of money because they need players.
Yeah, you know what I might believe? I might believe the Chiefs trading for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Bring him back.
I've heard that a lot. I don't
Really?
think that makes
Oh,
a lot of sense.
Darn, I thought I
I really don't think it makes a lot of sense because that to me, they need a receiver right now, because Worthy got hurt and Rice is serving a suspension. In 2 months, they won't. They don't want that headache, but everybody seems to be thinking that's one of the only teams that would take him back because they kind of feel like they could work with him and they can make it work with that pain. And
I thought he was going to retire, Tyreek Hill. Didn't he say a couple years ago?
He might involuntarily
He has
retire
been a problem for Miami, and I know he and Tua have had their differences. And now, like Mike pointed out, that Tua hasn't had a big play reception since week 1 of last year. It's not good.
Why you just want a good start, and you just want the Patriots to do everything right. Like I'm not sure there's anything worse than if the Patriots go down to Miami in the first quarter and it's just 3 and out, and they go right down the field and score. Like that is, I don't see how they bounce back from that. But if you go down there, you force Tua out, you force a punt, maybe you score. Just a good start and start to encourage. Like I said yesterday, encourage the Dolphins to maybe not.
Did I order food?
I think you did.
I thought I did too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, we're getting the
good.
thumbs up from Marine Corps.
All right, thanks. Patty's in Haverhill. What's
Can't
up,
believe
Patty?
I credited him for the first 18 minutes of this show.
What's up, guys? How
Hey.
you doing? So just a quick question. I'll take it off the air. Ball knower question. So Evan, Mike, Paul, Fred, you can sit this one out. I'm just joking. But how do you think is the best way that you can attack this Miami Dolphins defense? Is it going to be kind of what we saw this past Sunday, or probably maybe a little bit more of an even split on run and pass? Thanks, guys. Take it off the air. Bye.
Thanks.
I hope they're more balanced. I mean, they have to be more balanced, but I do think that, the Colts gave you some things that you could probably do from the gun, gun runs, RPOs, things like that gave them some problems. And one of the things I think that really stood out to watching Daniel Jones, because this is Daniel Jones, right? He goes out there and he looks like he's Josh Allen and he's just dropping dimes all over the field. They really scripted 3 or 4 throws right off the bat in that game for Daniel Jones that were just easy, roll out to the left, dump it in the flat to Tyler Warren, and pick up positive yards on the first couple of plays of the game. And they weren't asking him to do much. They were moving the pocket on a couple of them, and it was just very easy elementary football. And for Drake, I wonder if you kind of do that for him and try to get him into the game a little bit with some easy layups.
I like it.
Then maybe you can start to build some of his confidence. I think it's a lot to ask, for him, to drop back on the first third down of the game and just it's 3rd and long and you got to make a throw, and it's he hasn't been built up at all at that point. There's no confidence whatsoever. So I would like to just see them try to get Drake into the game, scheme open some things and scheme up some stuff that is just easy, one read and out type of things, like the Colts did for Daniel Jones, because he did that, and all of a sudden he was cooking. He hit 3 or 4 of those underneath throws that were nice, easy throws into the flats, and he throws a really good ball to Tyler Warren on a wheel route to put them into field goal range that I don't know if he makes that throw if he doesn't have the other one. So that's how I would come out throwing, but I would come out throwing conservatively and try to get Drake into the game a little bit.
And that's what you want to do, Fred.
Yeah.
You said that in the postgame show.
Yeah. Brian Lowell. What's up, Brian?
I'm Brian.
Brian. Lowell.
What's up?
Hey, you tell us.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Okay.
Hey, I want to talk to you guys about Christian Gonzalez's injury concern. His hamstring.
Yeah.
You know if he's gonna be willing to return, be playing again. Guys know about that.
He'll play eventually, but I don't think it'll be this week.
I assume at some
Thanks,
point
Brian.
he'll be back, but he hasn't been on the practice field in over 6 weeks at this point, and I can't
That's
imagine
crazy.
that points to him playing Sunday.
Yeah, it is crazy. He has been in the locker room pretty frequently when we've been in the locker room, so
Yeah, they're not hiding him. He'll be back.
Yeah,
But
he's going to be back.
But just as a point of comparison, okay? So George Kittle pulled a hamstring in the week 1 game, and they put him on IR. So they're telling everybody he's going to miss 4 weeks. So hamstring, I know people just look at it. It's not just a hamstring. It'll be out a day or two. These things linger,
It
especially
affects everything too. It's
especially
such a big
for
muscle.
skill
it's a huge
guys.
muscle.
Yeah. I've had a hamstring. Have you had a hamstring?
I have
Sure
2
have.
of them.
Yeah. I had a quad rip too. Ooh, that hurt.
I never had a quad rip, but I did have a hamstring. I felt like I got shot with an elephant gun.
Nick pulled a hamstring playing pickup basketball. He hasn't played basketball in like a year and a half because of it. Not to
tell him I feel the
dampen
pain.
the mood, but
I mean, I'm 100 years old, and he's not. You'd like to think that he should be able to get back out there, but
Ben's in Philly. Hey, Ben.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, I had a hamstring tear sophomore year of high school. Kept me out 8 weeks of football. So hamstrings, absolutely a big deal.
Yep.
First point I wanted to make, I don't understand the panic about Drake. First game, new system. He was good to start. We're fine. Sometimes it just feels like they want to see a Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old Joe Flacco play instead of this young, exciting kid that's going to develop. So I just don't get that. Second question I had was I watched some of that Dolphins tape, and it seems like they play a lot of zone coverage, don't blitz a ton. So similar to the setup against the Raiders, from what I understand. Do we expect that, or are they going to ratchet up the blitz? Thanks.
Thanks, Ben.
I mean, the Raiders did.
Yeah. I mean,
The Raiders
if I
blitzed a lot
were
in the second half.
if I were Miami, I'm trying to get Drake uncomfortable and trying to, disguise, fool him, get free rushers, take him out of the game early.
I mean, you can look at it two ways because
I don't mean that in an injury sense. I mean
yeah,
mental
no, but
sense.
the secondary is a problem for Miami. So if you're Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, do you try to protect the secondary by getting after the passer, or do you try to protect the secondary by putting more guys in coverage and flooding zones? So you can look at it both ways. I think the strength of the Dolphins' defense is probably their ability to get after the passer with guys like Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb and Chop Robinson.
Yeah, I would
Maybe you just try to get after Drake May and say, if we don't get there, we're not going to win this game because we can't cover with this group of players.
Yeah, I would just respectfully disagree about the blitzing. And I just looked up the number. They blitzed Daniel Jones 60% of the time last week, which has got to be one of the highest numbers in the league.
And I just think that if you're Miami, do you say, well, we're going to sit back with that secondary that is missing at least three guys?
So the reason why I brought it up is because they use creepers. So they blitz from the second and third level, and then they drop guys off the line of scrimmage. So they actually are, I think probably the caller was seeing, like they end up only rushing four guys, but which four guys they're rushing is not the same down to down.
Right.
So it's if you're watching it, like, yeah, I could definitely see how it's a four-man rush, but one of the rushers might be a safety coming off the edge or a slot corner blitzing from the nickel spot or something like that. So that Anthony Weaver comes from Baltimore. They mix it up. They pressure quarterbacks a lot. So I expect them. That's exactly what they did to Drake last year. I'll mention that too. In that game went down there last year. So I expect them to come after Drake again until he proves to them that he can beat that kind of defense.
Brandon in Maine writes in, when it comes to what he regards as the right approach to offensive football, Evan is as stubborn or maybe more so than Paul.
It's probably true.
Given the opportunity to be part of the interview for the Patriots OC job, I imagine it goes like this. Evan, are you Kyle Shanahan candidate? No. Are you from his coaching tree? No. If you aren't a Shanahan disciple, do you even know football, bro? But seriously, it's evident Evan is not a big fan of the Josh McDaniels offense, or at least the current version of it. When listening, Evan's suggestions for improving the offense and tailoring it to Drake's skill set seem to be sensible. Add some motion, window dressing, get him on the move, bring in more RPO. Yet Evan isn't smarter than Josh McDaniels and probably isn't even smarter than AVP. So if we assume Evan has a point, a large assumption to make, but let's give him some leeway, why is it that the Patriots' big brains have not gone down the road Lazard once traveled? What would lead you or us to believe that they know best and have a plan?
I don't know. I'm an idiot, apparently, so I don't know how to respond to that.
I don't know. I want to see how they continue to grow the offense. And like I said yesterday, your first game of the season, talking so much about we don't know what the opponent's going to do. I don't think you know how much your team's going to do as well. So now that they have a sample size of their own team, now it's time to start to evolve and lean into things that maybe you saw some positive glimmers of hope from and get rid of the things that didn't work. And, my hope is that they continue to build it out around him and that they do incorporate some of those things and just try to make it easier on Drake. I think at the end of the day, it's all about making Drake May functional in this offense. So whatever it takes, if he can't handle too much motion or whatever, and there's too much on his plate, then maybe they need to go a little bit slower. But I would hope that this will be a week by week building
I think
process.
those are all great points, and I think your main point that you started with is the one that I always get to, and Bill used to talk about it all the time. Like, people come out in week one, you're not really sure exactly. Forget about what the other team. Everybody says, well, it's all the unknown, but you don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Remember the year? There was a year somewhere in the middle aughts, like 05, 06 in that era. They opened with Buffalo.
Yeah.
The first play of the year
here.
was a strip sack of Takeo Spikes. Strip sack for a touchdown. And Bill, I remember, was like, I don't know how many of us had getting strip sacked for a touchdown on the first play of the season.
Yeah.
But you just sort of adjust because it's such an unknown, and you adjust. You figure out what you have, what the other teams are doing, and then you figure out what you do well. Maybe there were 3 things that they really expected to do really well against the Raiders, and none of those things happened.
Yeah.
So now you adjust.
Yeah.
Or was it a one-off? And
Yeah.
we are going to be able to run the ball most weeks. We weren't able to run it in week 1.
Yeah.
Can I do a tiny story? That was that game opener 06, my first time ever to this stadium.
6, I had it right.
My sister and I went together, had so much fun. We got here like way too early, parked behind the liquor store. We got here, we had a tennis ball and a 30 pack of beer, and that was it. And we had so much fun.
What
We
was
were
the
like,
tennis ball for?
I don't know. It was in the thing, so we're just playing
the
catch with a
couch?
tennis ball. But we had so much fun in the tailgate. We're like running to our seats up in the 300s, and then that
It was
play,
already
like,
7-0.
it's already like the flyovers happen, and we're like, oh, where are our seats? We got to get there. Like, we literally sit down. It's like boom, 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 fat sack. We're like, oh man, that's not a good start.
Womp womp.
But they still won. It was a good game.
Ty Warren's safety.
I won.
Yeah.
Troy Brown had a touchdown. Maybe.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Good time.
But here's one little nitpick, because I can never just let things go. I'm too immature to just let things go. We're just trying to offer opinions, right? No one's suggesting that we know more than the people that are making the decisions and whatnot. But what did you think of the decision to make Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator? Everybody but Fred.
Not a great decision.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt Patricia.
Do you know more than Bill Belichick?
About football? No.
So, I don't think you have to be a professional coach or an owner of a team to be allowed to have an opinion on what you think is a good direction to go.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously echo that as well, and I obviously know that I don't know as much about football as Josh McDaniels, but at the same time, I get paid to sit here and tell you what I think of what's going on.
And it doesn't mean you're wrong because you differ with guys that have more information than you do.
Yeah,
it doesn't make you automatically wrong. If that were true, none of this would exist. No one would be able to do this.
Yeah. I just think from McDaniels, I guess for me, I just want to see it. I want to see him have a more creative, more modern style offense that I don't necessarily know I've seen from him before. And that doesn't mean he can't do it. I haven't. I mean, they were last in the league in motion rate in week 1. They motioned 18% of the time. The 31st team in the league in motion rate motioned 36% of the time, double what the Patriots did. So is that a Drake May issue? Is that a week 1 issue and we're going to build towards that? Whatever the case may be, I hope it's just one of those things and that's not the plan, because when you turn on these tapes of these other offenses, there's misdirection, there's deception, there's guys all over the place, there's RPOs in certain offenses, there's under center with motion and window dressing in the Shanahan tree offenses, and then you watch the Patriots tape and it doesn't look like anything like that. So they have to find a way to make that happen.
Smitty in Georgia says, what percentage of plays did Drake line up under center last year, and how does that compare to last week? Could his lack of accuracy and poor footwork be caused by an increase in dropbacks where he's historically a gun quarterback?
He was in shotgun for the vast majority of this last game, and I wouldn't say that that's the biggest issue, is under center versus shotgun, but he has made it pretty clear that the under center stuff is an adjustment. That's definitely been something that he has said to me multiple times about it. So,
do you think that feeds in at all to some of their lack of success in the run game, that maybe Josh's playbook more comfortable running under center rather than gun runs?
Well, under center is, most coaches would prefer to run the ball from under center, I would say. Just the lead up that you get from the back, being all the way back in the backfield, and the head start that he gets at the line of scrimmage, the deception of being able to go left or right is big. You know, that there's just a lot of advantages to being able to run the football from under center. Play action works better from under center than it does from shotgun. So ideally, I think pretty much every team that doesn't have Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson wants to be under center.
Listen to Paul on Felger and Maz yesterday, and they asked him to bring them a gift next week if the Patriots lose.
Yeah, I was under siege.
Paul, bring them a giant crap sandwich. They'll love it since their whole show is crap. And yes, I do listen religiously. Hashtag hate listen. Heaven is left. Speaking of food, Fritos. This is from Frito. They're the parent company. Football fans know that traditions matter, turning moments together into something truly epic. They're what inspire us to make our masa and Tostitos the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels, no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives, all to give you that perfect crunch. Discover your next tradition this football season. Head to the store, grab your Tostitos team bag, and scan the code for a chance to win a epic experience with the Patriots. Tostitos, tradition matters. So just want to get that in there. What are you going to bring them if the Patriots lose?
Well, I was thinking I have to give it some thought, but if we could maybe, get a little something from the pro shop, maybe.
A rivalry shirt?
I was kind of thinking something along those lines.
Something that, they can leave out for shows to come.
Yeah. Mini helmet.
Yeah,
I was just going to say a mini
I'm glad,
helmet.
actually, that the emailer brought that up because that was my first thought. As soon as they said it, I was like, we can do something with this. And then, of course, I'm Paul, so I forgot about it. And I remembered back to a random game from 06.
Well, buying a present for somebody in general is always something you kind of put off.
But I
and
was
forget
thinking
about.
something that we could benefit from giving them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I think
That
a
was my-
rival, like
that was my
Alex's
thought.
suggestion, a mini rivalry
mini
helmet,
one.
they're going to pop down, move some product. Let's go.
So, see, can you effort that?
We could just go buy
need
a
to know exactly what you
$20
want.
mini helmet if you want. How about I'll keep it if they don't, if they win?
Why
No,
don't
I
you
get to
ask
keep it.
our PR department if you could give them a gift, what would you give them?
I don't think that would go well.
Whoa.
I don't think that would go well.
No? Jay writes in, do you think the Patriots will have Efton Chisholm active? I really like his play style, knows how to get open. That's Jay from Missouri.
No.
You think he'll be active for this game?
No, he's still doing scout team stuff. So, he's the sixth receiver. And, Kyle Williams only had about 12 snaps at the end. So he's the
think
other
7.
rookie, 7 snaps. So, you guys would know better than I would. But, this is how it kind of works sometimes. With rookie receivers, Kyle Williams probably the 5th receiver. And they're working him in a little bit, giving him some sample and see if he, blossoms.
If there's injuries, I think there's always a chance. I can't imagine that you need 6 receivers dressed. So I think if he comes out, who are you taking out?
Yeah.
Kyle Williams?
Well, doesn't Booty have a shoulder?
Yeah, but he's not going to not play in the game.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I don't know.
to Fred's
I
point.
mean,
yeah,
he missed like 3 plays with the injury when it happened.
yeah.
Now, I get it, adrenaline and all that. So to Fred's
pops.
point, maybe it's worse now.
Yeah.
So if he for whatever reason didn't play, then sure. But I just don't see the magical transformation in the offense that I guess I'm alone on, because we got like a couple of calls when I was on yesterday with Mike and Tony. We have a couple of emailers here. Evidently the bigger catch radius, like 5'10". I don't know, but I guess I just don't. I'll be the lone dissenter there.
Jordan writes in, on Wednesday's show, you guys mentioned apparel, and Paul replied, Chester, buy apparel. And I thought in my head while listening in the shower, gosh, that's probably a 10-year-old quote at this point. Wait, that might be 13 years old. Then I realized that I've been listening to you guys since 2008 when I was in high school. I've been listening for 50% of my life. That's crazy to think about. There are times I miss the old crew, but I also love Mike and Evan, even though Mike is really not new anymore. I love the show, listen to it as much as I can. During long walks while working at the post office, you guys have give me much needed relief by bringing jokes and great talk about the Patriots. Oh, you're welcome.
You know what I really love that you put it, I think it was email of the week with the guy and his daughter Lucy, who is now like a fan of
That
the
was
show.
sweet.
And I just thought that was, so cool to see, like, definitely not our usual demographic to see, but, to see a,
Bringing
young
families
Patriots
together.
fan
So
who appreciates
I
it.
liked,
Shout out Lucy and her dad.
Chester actually heard it, and he reached
Oh,
out
yeah?
to me. Like, thanks for the shout out.
What was the story behind that?
he just passionate fan. He called in. He was a frequent caller, but he had like a Fred-like rant one day about, sort of like snap out of it. Like,
Positivity.
we're the Patriots, all positive. And it's like, we need to be there. We need to be loud. We need to have the confidence and we need to buy apparel. Like, it was part of his like whole like psych up, hype video.
Yeah,
And that became his little shtick after that.
Yeah.
Buy apparel.
Buy apparel.
Well, speaking of apparel, how was your windbreaker received yesterday, Alex? As you
Got a lot of
put it
compliments
on,
it.
No?
A lot of compliments on it.
Nice.
It's shop.
Rivalries, windbreaker.
Yeah, good fit.
Good.
Get to the pro shop while supplies last.
Yep. Rivalries sideline gear available now at Fanatics. Todd in Garner, I'm of the mindset that the Dolphins are, as one said on the show, a wounded beast. But unlike many there, I know they have the talent to come roaring back. This game is not a gimme, and I feel that Fred's guarantee is fraught with baseless optimism.
Oh.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to argue with that. I don't have a lot to base it on at this point because the evidence says right now that the Patriots are 0-1. And there's an old head coach that used to be the head coach of this team that said, you are what your record says you are. So
0-1. But you got a good feel for the league, Fred. I mean, do you feel like your feel for the league is on point right now, though?
I do.
You're getting some vibes? You feel it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a decent feel for the league.
Consults the picks.
All fact checks.
Feel for the league.
If the Patriots win this game, I will effort an ode to the Kirsch in order to show my humility at being wrong. However, I want some acknowledgement when the fish squish us. Well, absolutely you will. I'm not going to
We will
pretend it didn't happen.
We'll be here for the post-game show. Mike and
yeah.
I will be on, and believe me, we're not going to sit here and tell you
No, I might get mad.
everything was great.
I never got mad last week. Did I get mad last week?
I don't remember you getting mad.
No.
There is a scenario that they could lose this game that it wouldn't like completely
35-34.
Yes, it wouldn't completely end all my hope, and that's Drake May playing a great game. The offense looking really productive, kind of like the Jets lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not telling you I'd be thrilled with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that might not signal the end of
they're
hope
starting to
for me.
they're starting to find some stride on offense, which that's just so important.
If they lose this game, like they just get blasted like 34-13. I'm just going to tell you now, if you don't want to hear stuff, don't listen to the postgame show because Mike will be inconsolable.
They'll have work to do. And Brunt Workwear makes work boots and apparel that are built for the job site, and an official sponsor of the New England Patriots and the Gillette Stadium Field Crew. The gear is comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that helped design it. You can even try Brunt out in the job, and if it doesn't blow you away, they'll let you send it back. Save $10 on your first order at bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Deuce, you won't be here.
I'm going to run quickly to the locker room, and then I'll come back for picks.
See what's going on? Yeah. All right, so you can do that, and we'll do picks at the bottom of the hour, but more calls and emails when we come back. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money. Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
What's going on? Doing all right?
How you doing? How are you?
Good.
How was practice?
Yeah, it's good. Good to get back out there. We get on a new week, new opponent, and just I think everybody's got some energy for division rival and division opponent. So looking forward to get back out there, and all those guys brought today, and we got some stuff to clean up and look at. But I thought it was good energy out there today.
What for you were the biggest areas of improvement leading into this week?
Yeah, I think just taking the next step. I think part of it's moving on, and part of it's learning from stuff throughout the game. I think get off on a better start. First possession 3 and out, we had good field position on that first possession. So you'll find a way to start faster. I think that's kind of a theme for the team. Start faster. I think from there, just there's throws I like to have back. I feel like I said that every game, but particularly ones where I feel like I had guys open, and from there just I think. Down in the red zone. I think he'll be better down in the red zone, whether it's decision making on my part or accuracy or just in general. I think we got to score touchdowns and we're down in the red zone.
What's your comfort level in this offense right now? One game in?
Yeah, I think we're building. I think I felt good, kind of reciting the plays and getting out of the huddle and getting in and out of checks, out there during the game. So it felt good to get that in the game's rep, and I think it'll continue to get better between me and coach. And I think the more we do and the more we're kind of seeing the same things and stuff we can revert back to in a game setting will always kind of help us going forward. And I think those guys, that were catching the football and blocking up front, I thought they, played their butts off. And I think, they deserve a lot of credit, and I got to do my part.
Drake, do you think the fixes are something that can happen relatively quickly, or is this something that's going to evolve over the season?
Fixes and meaning?
What needs to happen for the offense to be better?
Yeah, I think it's something we're working hard to fix this week. We're going to get back, and there's one game that we wish we would have had, and feel like we could have had. But at the same time, I think we got pieces. We got guys that play hard and did a lot of good things on Sunday. So build off that and try to learn from that and establish the run and build off that. But I think that the goal is to everybody after week 1's trying to kind of assess where they're at and get back there in week 2. And I think it's my job to kind of get us going and like I said, try to start fast, and from there just take what they give me and create positive plays. I think that's what we're trying to create, just positive plays, and from there I feel like if we don't get our own way, I think we'll be fine.
Drake, you mentioned there's some throws you'd like to have back. Was there anything, having watched him again on film, is there anything that was sort of consistent on those throws? Is it a mechanical thing? Is it a recognition thing? Was there a consistent theme on?
Yeah, I think just some of them's rushing him. I think I see him and kind of rush it to try to get out to as quick as he can. The one to pop, he was getting close to the sideline with kind of a trap corner there, so try to get it out as quick as I can to him to get the first. But from there, I think really I feel like I've been throwing it pretty good and seeing it well. So I think sometimes there's throws that like I said, you just that could have helped us. And I feel like I made some pretty good throws throughout the game. That I felt good about accuracy wise. So. I'm not going to overharp on too much, but at the same time you got to hit guys when they're open, so it's an even kind of balance. But I think I definitely accuracy is one of the biggest things in quarterback. So being accurate is what I take pride in, and you can't miss open guys.
Great. Stephon Diggs told us it's important to him to give you positive feedback and reinforcement. As a captain and the entrenched guy now, how do you feel you're experiencing the pressure and expectation that comes with that?
Yeah, I think the guys are being great around me. I think. They're pumping me up and staying positive, and the huddle's got some juice. So that's the biggest thing. I think that kind of being in the huddle and having some juice and kind of not having all eyes on each other, waiting for somebody to say something. I feel like they got some juice in the huddle, and that's what I'm trying to bring to practice. Bring some juice and positive energy, and not let that game kind of bleed into this game we just had. So just try to kind of come out here and, like I said, do what I can to get the guys going early, and we're planning different kind of climate, so adjusted to that, and it's getting cold a little bit around here. But those guys do a great job pumping me up, and I got to realize that I'm still young, but at the same time I still got to be a voice and help those guys around me, because my voice it means something.
Coach Vrabel said that they would evaluate for putting too much on your plate early in the season. Have you noticed any changes with that so far this week?
No, I mean, I think any team we're trying to establish the run. So from that point, I think you win games running the football and stopping the run. So trying to set that up. I feel like we got guys that we can throw to in space and make plays, and we can hurt teams in the past. So I don't think. I don't feel like anything's changed, and I'm just trying to do, my part and whatever they ask me to do.
Have you felt like there's anything like too much on your plate?
No, I mean, I think, like I said, previously, anytime you're playing quarterback in the NFL, it's a lot on your plate. You're playing quarterback for, one of 32 teams. It's a lot, and something I don't take for granted. What a special position it is in this league, and there's a lot of good that comes with it, and there's a lot of stuff that's on your plate, and that's just part of it. So trying to do whatever I can to, study as much as I can, and, hear the play calls and study the formations before he calls them. And, like I said, there's a lot of things that go into it, being accurate and play calling and getting in and out of plays. So just trying to, like I said, get a good grip on it. I think the more we do that, kind of throughout the weeks and as the season goes on, the better I'll feel for in this offense.
More plate talk. We keep talking about the plate, so you are never going to say, you know what, there's too much on my plate, I can't do it. You're always going to, as a player and competitor, I would imagine, say, I can do it, I can get it. Are there points at which you might say, you know what, it's probably not a bad idea to streamline that? It's a funny spot that you're in where you don't want to say it's too much, but you have to be realistic about, I'm not there on that yet.
Yeah, I think that's what you spend so much time for. It's what you're here in April for, and kind of through that, the building blocks of the offense. And I think more of that is, hey, I may not like this play this week, or hey, I might not like, something out of this look. So it's more of that, me and kind of share my opinions, with Coach, rather than shooting out taking the challenge on. So I'm just Coach is trying to put the best plays in the huddle that we feel good about and that are our best plays, and then from there, just got to try to go and execute.
I wanted to ask you about sliding. How natural does that come to you, and is that something you actually practice?
Yeah, I played baseball growing up, so sliding was, pretty natural. I slid head first more in second base more than I can remember. But I think just being able to get down. I think I slid a couple of times in the games, and I think I do a better job instead of running sideways, try to get as much as I can then slide. So get as much as I can, but really from there on a third down and down in the goal line, try to be big and not take too much of a hit, but get what I can.
Drake, how do you feel you're at with your mechanics in your footwork right now? Do you feel like you're in a good place with all that?
Yeah, I feel like I've been I think throughout training camp and throughout over the summer, trying to get a grip on the offense, get a grip on kind of the timing and the routes and how it times up with my feet. I think I was accurate and made some throws when my feet timed up with the routes and with the concepts. So just gotta stay on my stuff kind of throughout the week of not letting little things like that go to waste, because I feel like when I got a good base and turn my shoulder at it and let it rip, I've been on target. So that's just the main thing, and I feel good throwing it. So that's what matters.
The same as what you were doing last year in terms of like left foot forward and all that good stuff. Or
Yeah. Same setup. I think, like I said, different. A little different, offensively with under center and really kind of the same stuff. But yeah, just trying to apply it to this offense. I can't even remember some of the different stuff from last year, but trying to keep the same stuff and try to rep it and just continue repping it. And the throws that I feel like wish I had back, try to get those after practice and throughout practice try to work on throws and making throws from pockets. I think it's tough to emulate in practice. A defensive lineman kind of pushing the offensive line back into you and not getting able to step into it. So some of those throws are tough to emulate, and that's what I try to do in my individual time after practice.
Guys talk about flushing it, when they move on during the week. Has that been easy for you this week?
Yeah, I think kind of throughout the course of the last season, you learn it's any given week in this league. I think it's one of those things that you got to bring in every week and can't let last week kind of dwell on this week. And I think that's what these guys and what coaches is talking about and then preaching and wanting to start fast. So for me, I think flushing it, but also not just learn from it. I think learning from it, learn as much as I can, and try to get on the winning side of things, and that's what I'm here to do. So thank you guys.
And now, great moments in history.
1 o'clock on CBS. The 1-1 Bears are at the 0-2 Colts.
Indy by 1.
Ooh, tough one. What's that? What's that really though, Fred?
Well, they're -2 then.
+2.
Well, there you go. Tells you all you need to know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Cleveland at home.
No, Indy's +1. They get 3, so they're -2.
They're at home, so they
get 3.
Right.
Right.
So it's really like they're +2.
They should be 4.
So if you're getting 3, that means they're favored by 1.
No, they're not getting it.
They're giving points. They're favored by 1.
They didn't get the 3.
You're welcome, everybody.
If you're going to follow the nonsensical 3 points for the home team thing, what would the spread be if it was neutral?
Don't bring me into this.
I'm so confused.
Anyone?
4.
Anyone?
+3. Because you get 3 points at home. You would giving, +3, right?
+2.
If it was 0, I thought you get 3 at home.
You get 3 at home. He says you get 3. It doesn't exist, but he insists that you get 3 at home.
Oh, it's a rule.
So they're favored by 1.
Isn't 3 minus 3 0?
So that would be.
Why are we minusing 3?
Because you said it was 0.
That would be.
We gotta hurry. We gotta hurry. We gotta hurry.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast at patriots.com is the
Never
email
gets
address.
old.
Never gets old. It's a good shtick. It's our who's
I
on.
would just reiterate that if
It's our who's on
you
first.
get 3 for being at home, that means they were +2. They were -1.
How do you +2 if
Because
you
you got to
get
give
3?
them. You're giving them 3. I'm just saying. If you go by your logic,
I don't
it's not
understand.
my logic. It's your logic.
There's a
I don't give them 3 for being.
there's
at
a
home.
point
You do.
missing there.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Is the point the 0 in between the -1 and the
Yes.
+1? Okay.
Yes. So you go from +2 to
Got it.
+1 to 0 to -1.
Mhm.
If you're getting 3 for being home,
It can be a push.
so you have to subtract. You're subtracting, right? So that's all I'm saying. But I don't think it exists anyway. So
You don't think teams get points for being home?
No.
They say they do.
the Vegas spreads are based on who they think is going to get
The
the money.
touts say they do.
What about a
they
stadium
do
like
the
Mile High,
analysts.
though? You don't think it plays in at all?
Oh no!
With Sharps?
Do I think the home field matters? Of course.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like
Then I
it's, I don't think
misunderstood what you
every
were-
home team gets 3 points. I don't think that.
Yeah, not a
exists.
given.
No, that's
But if it's
And we're
closely
back.
matched,
The touts.
yes. You get more point. You should be more apt to be favored if you're home because you're more apt to win the game.
No, the touts. The touts say you do get points for being home.
what are the touts?
The sharps.
The Sharps.
Same
got it.
thing. Touts.
But you just say
I'm just
3.
asking
You
for
get
the
3 for being
glossary.
home.
It used to
That's
be
the-
3.
gotta
Now
bring
it's
the
2.5.
gambling glossary
That's what
back.
I.
They've lowered it to 2.5.
But I think it varies based on the game. I think Alex just made a really good point. Like Mile High is worth more than 3.
Well, the Denver has all home games. So,
Well, that too.
In prime.
speaking of buying apparel, Chester in Portland's on the phone. What's up,
Wow.
Chester?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, today's my birthday. I took the day off.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
I love
Chester.
a PTO day on your birthday.
Yeah, 9/11, never forget, right?
Right.
You know, but I'm loving the Buy Apparel revival. You know, it's about 11 years. I think that came around right after the We're On to Cincinnati week, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Everybody was so fired up about getting back onto it. But it's just real quick, it's a tough loss on Sunday, you know, but this hyperbole is on my nerves and I think on many with the, you know, people thinking that this team doesn't have it. I just want to say this, you know, first of all, you know, Chris was at STFU in LA, you know, enough with that doom and gloom. You know, a lot of us are really trying to get excited about football. I mean, all offseason, we're collectively forecasting this year as being several seasons away from playoff caliber. And,
Ooh,
you know, for me,
not the national guys.
yeah,
National guys are looking at 11 to 12 wins, playoffs.
Yeah, Paul. But, you know, those of us that watch this team, I think we really know, you know, the holes that need to be plugged over time.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. I mean, you see the holes when you look at the team up close. I mean, you know, every day I'm watching to see what's going on. I'm happy to see a good first half, though. You know, it's something to build on. The second half was crap, but I was really happy to see them at least, you know, fighting in that first half. I think there's a lot of great tape that they can learn from and move forward. You know, but going into this weekend, it's going to be tough, but I think we could really take down Miami if Drake can just get his crap together and get on target with some throws here. We really, really need him to deliver. But, it's time for this team to really tap into the head coach and get gritty. Get out there and fight. Let's squish the fish. To me, at 23-17 seems to be, if we can pull this off, the score. But let's book that. Buy apparel, baby, and let's get a win.
All right. Thanks, Chester.
So, Alex, that was a very low-key, subdued version of it. But, did you hear, squish the fish, buy apparel? That's
I appreciate
Chester.
the really, level-headed optimism, though.
Yeah, the only pushback I would say is, really, and he addressed it. Chester addressed it. It's like Christian in L.A., who we kind of think is really... He's embracing
us.
He's embracing the heel turn, and it's actually been very funny. I think he's been funny. I don't think there's been a lot of gloom and doom, like it's over talk.
I don't read all the emails.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good point.
There's
because maybe that's why I haven't heard as much of it.
I don't know if there's a lot of sentiment that it's already over, but there's definitely a lot of negativity, I think.
Oh.
Expectations were just way too high.
But how can you not have negativity based off of that second half?
No, we're all upset about that game.
And not just the second half, but you and me walking into work at the same time, I think, what was it, Tuesday morning after that Monday night game, and we were just watching Baltimore and Buffalo, or Sunday night, where we were just damn, it just reminds you how far away we are and how much more talent we need, kind of going back to if Tyreek Hill became available today and would we want him? It still wouldn't be enough. There's still so much that needs to be addressed.
Yep.
Franklin in Baltimore, contrary to what the emailer said, I don't think Fred's thoughts about the game are unfounded optimism. In fact, if the Patriots can grab a 2-score lead early, I expect the Dolphins to unravel and implode into a pile of Star-Kissed tuna cans as Tua throws yet another bad interception. Squish the fish and LFG Pats. All right, Franklin in Baltimore.
All right, so... with that, I would just say this, and I agree. I think this is a very plausible scenario that can unfold. I think if the Patriots get off to a good start, Miami can do it. But you're not necessarily doing anything about the Patriots. It's more about Miami. And that's what I think Todd's point was, unfounded optimism. It's because you think the other team is a train wreck right now. Yeah. That's what kind of worries me. What happens if Miami isn't a train wreck on Sunday? What if they show up to play?
Yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing week one, but I think both teams felt embarrassed.
My unfounded optimism isn't just because of Miami. If we were playing the Chiefs, I would have guaranteed a win.
Really?
I just think we're going to win
so
this
I was
week.
going to defend you and say, I don't think it's unfounded.
He just thinks they're going to win,
I just think they're going to win.
I was going to say, I don't think it's unfounded because I think you have great intuition. But then I might pull back after the Chiefs comment.
Just realized that he was going to say they're going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And you realize where the word unfounded comes in.
Right. Yeah, it's not based on anything.
Alex is 1-0 picking Patriots games. No one else can say that.
That's true. Tom in New Jersey.
For that. I took some heat.
That's all right. You got to stand. I'm, famously back in the PFW days when the border war was at its highest. Mike Reese, who was a member of our team at that time, he wasn't with ESPN. He was working for us. Picked the Jets to win in the paper, and he caught shrapnel on the team plane from players.
Wow.
Yep.
Henry Thomas.
Yeah.
Heard you did a bad thing, little man.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
It was very lighthearted. It was very lighthearted.
Yeah, no one.
How do you be mean to Mike Reese?
No one really was mean to him.
That's someone, if I ever saw someone
gave him
trying
crap.
to be mean or bullying him,
So
we
got some static. Week 2 of 2008, Matt Castle's first start was at the Meadowlands against the Jets.
Yep.
And at the time, Mike Parenti was here, I was here, and Andy Hart was here, and we all picked the Jets. And the Patriots went down and won.
Yep.
And we're getting on the bus to come back to the airport to come home. And we used to be on, at the time it was bus 4, remember, Freddie?
Yep.
Now it's 17 buses, I don't know. Bus 4 was, media relations, content like us, the video
support
crew,
staff.
Support staff. So the support staff is more like football. They're all in the back. And they were giving us the business. And it was not lighthearted. It was not lighthearted at all.
Anyone notable?
I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air, though. And I've since sort of mended fences with this one person, but I turn around. They were really giving Mike Parenti, and it was Mike's first year. So it's basically the second game that Mike was with us.
Yeah, that's intimidating.
And he was really offended by it. I said, hey, we got it wrong. We made a bad pick. And he goes, yeah. He goes, it was a really bad one. I go, yeah, you know what? The last time I got one wrong was the Super Bowl last year. I didn't remember you guys making fun of me about that one. That was the undefeated season. Silence. There was
That's a good
silence
one.
after that. Because I picked the Patriots to beat the Giants and go undefeated. I didn't hear anybody making fun of me for getting that one wrong. Like, what's the difference? You know? And then we ended up he apologized that, like, this was like a year later.
Right.
Like, he's like, I was out of line. And I go, yeah, I know. It's like, there was no need for it. And that, like, poor Mike, it's like his second game ever. And he's like, is this what happens? Should I never, ever not
Now
pick
he's
the Patriots?
petrified
Like,
to not.
is that what happens?
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the only time that ever happened, in fairness. Bill used to have little snarky comments once in a while.
Yeah.
But not like that. This was, they were like
Genuinely
letting us
upset.
have it. Yeah.
I remember Pete Carroll's first year. The Jets beat us.
Yep.
And we put on the cover the Jets quarterback, who was Foley, right? What was his name? Glenn Foley. Glenn Foley.
Matt Foley.
And
I'm a motivational speaker.
And we had him in Broadway Foe, play on Broadway Joe.
Oh, Fred used to come up with some really good headlines.
I can only imagine.
And so I got
I want to dig into the archives.
They weren't all
and
bad,
find some
Kitty.
good ones.
I got a call, and at that time I was working in Boston at the office, because there was no room at the old stadium, and Pete Carroll called me. It's like, you know what it's like here when it comes to the Jets. That was chicken, putting him on the cover. So I went down there and I met with him in person, and we became actually pretty good friends after that. But
which I didn't really understand.
He was upset.
I didn't really understand Pete's anger. I knew he had some things with the Jets. Obviously, there was the whole thing when Parcells left, and that was the real border.
Well, he was told, whatever you do, don't lose to the Jets.
But how are we supposed to put a cover together after losing a game without the other team being on the? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't really.
Well, it was
Do you think
just
it was
that
just
quarterback.
seeing that it was like a team?
Kind of rubbing it in, he thought maybe.
I didn't think I didn't look at it that way at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he did.
No, I know
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
I just think that he was a little out of line.
But was he
insulted you a
upset
little bit.
because it wasn't the Globe or the Herald writing it?
Yeah,
as
it was
us?
the team's own paper kind of
Yeah.
rubbing it in.
I'm
And
sure,
maybe not used to that
But
from
again,
other teams.
you have to say what happened in the game.
I know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I don't think Fred's cover was out of line, even though that was before me. So I wouldn't have talked you out of it if I had been here.
Yeah.
I think that was a good cover.
Real good. Is that Bill Shakespeare?
Tom in New Jersey. Just curious. With Gonzalez's injury happening in the offseason, it seems easier to sweep it under the rug and not really ever address it, while in-season injuries are talked about more and addressed to the public. Why? Does it depend on the individual due to HIPAA laws? I don't think
Gonzalez's injury didn't happen in the offseason. It happened in training camp.
Well, that's off-season.
No, it's not.
Well, I know what he means.
I don't
it
think
didn't
he
happen
knows where-
during the regular season.
I don't think he thinks I don't know. Maybe I was putting words in his mouth. I thought he was suggesting he came into training camp with an injury.
No, I think he
because
meant
he barely practiced.
I think he meant it didn't happen during the regular season.
Oh, I don't really like.
But
to me,
that
that's
has no
the same.
difference. Yeah, people are talking
But
about
if
it.
See, I do think there's a difference between off season, right? Like, because you don't know what happened.
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
The preseason, you don't see the actual play or the injury.
Yes.
Like maybe a couple videos got out of it.
but
I
we
can't
saw
even
this,
remember
this
it. We saw it
injury.
live.
Yeah.
Whereas if it happens in a game on national television,
So I would agree with his
it's more fun
premise.
of mine.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes guys get hurt working out on their own,
Mhm.
and they're on PUP to start training camp or NFI or something like that, and there isn't as much talk about it because you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
This happened. We were there.
Yeah, we saw it.
And we saw him running
Mm-hmm.
across the field. I think he was chasing Diggs on the play, and all of a sudden he just reached back and grabbed his hamstring.
First day in pads.
First day in pads. Yeah.
Yep. So, but I don't think anyone's sweeping the injury under the rug.
No, to the contrary, people
I
are
think
really
it's-
concerned about it.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest storyline. it
And
feels
they're
like
talking
right
about it.
now.
Everyone knows it's a hamstring. It's not like a leg.
Yeah.
We know it's a hamstring, and it's just a matter of when
And
he's
Mike
ready
has
to come
addressed
back.
it several times.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
Eric has been holding on for a while. What's up, Eric? I hope you didn't miss class.
No. What's up, guys?
Hey.
So, just a straightforward question for you guys. What do you identify as Miami's weak points on defense? And then how would you use Travion Henderson to exploit that? I'll take your answer off the air. Squish the fish.
Yeah, the secondary is
Thanks.
the weak point of the defense. I think the front seven for Miami, at least on paper, isn't bad, but the secondary is in complete shambles. I don't know necessarily how Travion Henderson would factor into that, but I do think what Mike and Evan talked about in the immediate aftermath of the game was, yes, they had plenty of touches and plenty of involvement for Henderson, but maybe see if they can get get him isolated on a linebacker on a wheel route, get him downfield. Maybe you can get a big play out of it that way.
All right, it's I lost track of time. Mike is back from the locker room. We got to do picks. It's that time of the week.
Nice mix, Matt.
That was.
But so while I get this up on my computer, Mike, why don't you tell us what's going on in the locker room?
Yeah, it was just quick, obviously, but heard from Robert Spillane, Matt Collins, and Will Campbell. And just say Will Campbell, very serious. And I liked his vibe today. It seemed like he's just locked in and
love it.
Short.
I love him.
He's a very serious
He's quickly
person.
becoming my favorite player.
Just short ansers. And I liked his vibe.
I can't have a favorite player.
No, I just think I think you're cute.
Robert Spillane is funny. I think they asked him, they're like, some of the guys talking about going in the sauna a little bit to get ready for the heat. And he's like, I always go in the sauna. So I
do love his voice. I have to
Well,
admit.
even
I love his
I don't know
voice.
if you guys caught him. He was on Edelman's podcast with Matt Light, and it was still
Now,
the
why
same.
would I have seen that?
I don't know if it interested you. It interested me. I figured it'd help me prepare and get to know our rookie. But
Hey, you know what? It was a good rocket shot back. That was a good
Yeah.
volley.
Do your job.
you inspired me with that quick comment you had about, hey, I picked you guys to win in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's a comment you make. Like, I would have walked away from that interaction and been like, I should have said this.
Right.
That would have been an awesome
Like George
zinger.
Costanza.
Yep.
That's what I should have
The
said.
jerk store school.
But you had it right away.
I said,
running out of
I
you.
said sometimes we get them wrong. You remember the last one I got wrong?
Exactly. Like,
The
that's
Super Bowl last year. I didn't hear from
what do
any
you
of
say
you.
to that, you know? That's mic drop.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the jerk store, Cole, they're running out of you.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, Matt Collins talked a little bit. I mean, he played for Miami, so I actually asked him a question. Just you were in this Miami offense a little bit. I know it's changed with Matt Collins, but some principles with Tua, and he had a pretty good answer just about how detailed it is and timing and those kind of things. So yeah, good day. Saw Harold Landry briefly walk through and then disappeared, but didn't really look like he had a limp or wrap or anything like that. So yeah, not sure. We'll see if he goes out there to practice.
All right. So we're going to have to buzz through this because I started late. No buys this week, so it's a full slate. We'll start tonight, 8:15 on Prime. Last week. Jeez, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah.
We got to give the flowers
Yeah.
to Alex.
Really?
Yes.
She knew.
What?
She knew.
I didn't know.
Did you not know?
She knew. Oh, really?
I knew I did well.
Oh, really?
Hair flip. 14-2.
Wow.
For Alex.
First
So
to worst?
that's no messing around.
Worst to first.
Freddie,
Yeah.
as always, with a
Last
feel
year
for the
was
league.
first to worst.
13-3.
Yeah.
Mike,
intuition.
good job, 12-4,
Sick
and
of
then
those 12 wins.
then the stiffs chime in. Evan 9-7, Paul 8-8.
Oh boy.
Just
Okay.
pathetic.
No one under 500.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
Wait till-
that's horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, 8-8, just picking
Just
winners
picking
is
winners.
horrific.
Week one,
with
though.
the spread, Alex 9-7.
Solid.
The only one above the Mendoza.
Wow.
Mike and Fred 8-8. Paul and Evan 6-10.
Oof.
That's what happens when you come out of the gate with a whole bunch of upsets that almost happened.
Yeah, sure.
Almost get you.
Wait a minute. I had
So
the Chargers
far.
beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's an upset.
Okay.
Right out of the gate.
Okay.
Right out of the gate.
All right. Good job.
All right. I want my flowers
I had
too.
that too. Shout out Justin's hot girlfriend.
All right, tonight, 8:15, Prime Video. The 1-0 Commanders are at the 1-0 Packers.
Green Bay by 3.5.
By 3.5. Yeah, good vibes in Green Bay.
Mhm.
And I just wonder if they can keep it going here on a short week. I like them at home, but I'm going to take the hook for Washington. I think it's a close game.
I agree with you. I was pretty impressed with Green Bay. I'll do the same thing.
So Green Bay, and you're taking the points with
Mhm.
Washington. Let's see. I will take Green Bay to win, and I guess I'm gonna stay on that train. Green Bay, I'll take the hook.
Green Bay both ways, people. Not a lock, but
you know.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I'm just going to pick what Alex picks.
We move over to Sunday, 1 o'clock on CBS. The 0-1 Browns are at the 0-1 Ravens.
Baltimore by 11 and a hay.
That's a lot of points. I mean, Baltimore they're coming out to prove something, right? But it's a division game. That's a lot of points for a division game. And we saw Cleveland play close last week with the Bengals. I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to take Baltimore, but I'm going to say it's a little closer than that points.
I'm going to do the same thing as
Is that
well.
11 and a half balls? Is that what you said?
Too big of a spread.
Yeah, again, I'm going to stay with that line of thought. Too many points, and I don't think Cleveland's defense is pretty good. I don't think Cleveland's a train wreck like everybody thinks, but
you love Joe Flacco.
I do love Joe Flacco. It's kind of
It's hard
funny
to
at this
not kind
point.
of root for,
Oh,
though.
sure.
Yeah, I liked him when everybody else was making fun of him.
When he was winning the
When
AFC
everyone was like,
Championship in
is Joe
2012.
Flacco elite?
Correct. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Ravens win, but give me those points. Give me those points. Browns cover. 1 o'clock CBS.
CBS.
The 1-0 Jaguars are at the 1-0 Bengals.
Cincinnati by 3 and a hay.
I thought it was interesting, Liam Cohen, going through shot by shot all the throws that Trevor Lawrence could have hit Brian Thomas on. I'm going to go Cincinnati at home. I will lay the points.
This is one of the tougher ones for me, but
Joe Burr.
I know, Joey B, my guy. Cincinnati.
So this is the first one. I'm going to leave the train. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win, but I'm going to be with that hook again with Jacksonville. I agree with Liam Cohen. I think Trevor Lawrence did not play his best game in that one, and I don't think Cincinnati's defense is as good as it looked in week 1. So I'll take the Jags to keep it close.
I'm going to take the Jags to win this outright, folks.
I think that could happen. That's a good upset.
I'm going to Trevor Lawrence.
Is it a lock?
He's my candidate
I got to
for.
be a little more careful after my ridiculous opening.
He's my
opening
candidate
week.
for Offensive Player of the Year. You watch. Fox, 1 o'clock. 0-1 Giants at the 0-1 Cowboys.
Dallas by 4.5.
I haven't seen the Giants made a quarterback switch. I know that was maybe pending, but
They did not. As a matter of fact, he said definitively no.
yeah,
on Monday.
Oh, we did. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna
Unless
take.
he's changed.
No, I don't think so.
I
I
haven't
think you're
seen
right.
anything since Monday.
I'm gonna stick with Dallas. That is a little bit more points than I'd like to lay, but I'll lay all 4. 4.5.
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll lay the 4.5.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the same, I guess, every game so far. I'll take Dallas to win, but I will take the 4.5 with the Giants.
Paul is correct. Cowboys win, but they do not cover.
And this is how you end up 6-10. You take upset after upset after upset, and they're all going to be this close to happening, and none of them's going to happen.
1 o'clock on Fox, the 0-1 Bears are at the 0-1 Lions.
Detroit by 6.
Ooh,
Jesus.
this is a good,
do it
interesting game. I'm going to take Detroit to win at home, but I'm going to give Ben Johnson those points. I think he'll have a little something. His guys will want to play for him. I don't think they have quite enough, but I think they keep it close.
Yeah, Detroit's a little concerning with all the brain power they lost, which I didn't really factor in week 1.
Yet you still won.
I don't think
14-2.
I didn't. That was a rare game I got wrong. A rare one.
A rare one
I
that I
didn't
got
mean for
wrong.
that to sound so bratty, but I will take Detroit.
And my clothes fit better than they did in high school.
Sure did. I will take Detroit, and I will take Chicago to cover.
I'm going to do the same thing. I liked a lot of what I saw from Chicago, and
in the first half,
I just think they need to figure out how to. I think Ben Johnson's number one task is to figure out how to make Caleb Williams sort of understand the need to stay with it. Don't drift in and out, when things go bad. That's the number one problem. It's got nothing to do with ability. It's got nothing to do with his, aptitude for offense. It's his attitude. And that's the number one thing that Ben Johnson has to do.
Okay. I'm going to take Lions both ways. We're going to see a resurgence of that defense for the Lions because remember they were decimated by injuries last year.
That is true.
That's kind of what kept them back, and I think they're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder, that defense. So they're going to give Caleb Williams and the Bears a tough time tomorrow, Sunday. 1 o'clock on Fox, the 1-0 49ers. Do we know who the quarterback is?
McCorkle.
Mac Jones
Michael
against the
Jones.
Saints, 0-1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Niners by 3.
By 3 on the road.
So this is a pick 'em.
Oh boy, Mac, Booby. I'm gonna take New Orleans for the upset, and I'll take them at home +3. Please, sorry, Mac.
You think if
New
Brock
Orleans
Purdy
to win
was
outright, huh?
quarterbacking, it would be more than 3?
Well,
Yes.
Well, I don't know when our lines came out on our little sheet here, but it was San Francisco -6.5 on our.
Yeah, that was before Mac Jones was announced as this
Quarterback is worth 3.5.
No, he's definitely. That's a definite.
I think so.
That's what
That's all the reports.
Evan's idol.
Or maybe
Wow.
it isn't. Miss 14-2. Maybe you should do some research.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No research seems to be working well.
Just vibes, okay? It's just vibes.
Vibes. Instagram.
Gotta hurry.
San Francisco. San Francisco.
Loves Mac.
So I thought for sure that I would be the snarky one. Yeah, I cannot take a team that Mac Jones quarterback, so I'll take the loss if it happens, but I'll take the Saints to win outright, like Mike.
I just think the Saints have still a lot
It's
of
the worst
talent.
team in football.
Not the Saints. I mean, the 49ers have a lot of talent. Christian McCaffrey's healthy, right? Cap is
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, he played well in the first
Yeah.
game.
So I'm going to go with the 49ers to overcome any deficiencies that they might have. 1 o'clock on CBS, the 1-0 Bills are at the 0-1 Jets.
Buffalo by 6.5.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I'm gonna take Buffalo for sure, and I'm gonna start to LA the points 6.5.
Bills.
Yeah, this is tough. Jets played well last week, or they were competitive.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the points. I'll take Buffalo to win the game. I do think the Jets could win this game outright. I think Buffalo has a hard time in New York sometimes. Very emotional win on a Sunday night. They probably didn't even start thinking about the Jets until like Wednesday. But I'll take Buffalo to win.
Yeah, Bills fans, watch your fingers. That window's coming down fast. But if it wasn't the Jets, I'd pick an outright loss for the Bills. But they don't lose. They win, but they do not cover. Fox, 1 o'clock. The 0-1 Seahawks are at the 1-0 Steelers.
Pittsburgh by 3.
4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers last week.
Yeah, looks like he'd like DK
Otherwise,
Metcalf.
not all that good
Yeah.
in the game. And I started watching some of those highlights, and I'm listening to some of the analysis. He had 4 touchdowns, but kind of didn't move well in the pocket. Even he said that. Imagine how bad he must have been for him to admit it.
Yeah. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 40, I believe. I'm gonna take
Not a rematch.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I'll take Aaron Rodgers. I'll lay the points.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
2-0 Steelers.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh gets this one done too. Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh both ways.
Yeah, I have about as much reason to make this call as I do with the Patriots, but I'm going to have the Seahawks winning this outright.
Oh.
So there you go. 1 o'clock CBS, the 1-0 Rams are at the 0-1 Titans.
The Lar by 5.5.
Lar by 5.5. Yeah, because things are kind of messy down there in Tennessee. I don't know about Matthew Stafford. I'm going to take the Rams, but I'm going to take a plucky Tennessee team for the points. I'll to keep close.
The Lar in Tennessee.
It's 5.5, right?
Yep.
5.5.
All right, retweet.
That means the same thing.
No,
Paul.
I get it. I
think it's repost
I'm going
now,
to take.
too.
Oh, yeah, repost. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm going to take the Rams both ways. I do think Tennessee showed something. I think they're not ready to win that game despite all the help that they got from Denver, but a lot of drops for the Titans in that game. Cam Ward actually played reasonably well. The stats will tell you he was miserable, but he played pretty well.
I saw that Calvin Ridley drop.
Yeah, that spread is simply to bring in Titans money. So I'm going to have the Rams winning, but not covering. You understand that, Paul?
So it worked.
Yeah.
The spread enticed you into doing it.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Now we're going to skip over the Patriots at 1 o'clock, and we're going to move to 4:05. The 0-1 Panthers are at the 1-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, really disappointing opener for Carolina. Arizona by 6.5.
Yeah, I like that on the road. I'm going to take Arizona. I'm going to lay those points.
Arizona.
So I am going to take Arizona to win, but I will take the points with Carolina. I think they're a little bit better than they showed. It was one of those week ones. They just didn't have it. Weird weather delay in the middle of the game. Bryce Young was terrible.
A couple hours, wasn't it?
So I'll take the points. 6.5
Yeah, me
to
too.
1.
I'm going to take the points as well. Cardinals win at home, 4:05 CBS. The 1-0 Broncos in a rare road game are at the Colts 1-0.
Denver by 1.5.
When your son said he liked the Broncos, we were like, well, we're never going to be able to see them because they only play we're going to have to go to Denver together.
Right. I'll go to Denver.
It's a good matchup, though. I think these are two, plucky teams right now, especially, Bo Nix. And I can't buy quite into Daniel Jones. So I'm going to go with Denver, mostly on their defense. And I'll lay those, 2.5?
1.5.
1.5. I'll lay the 1.5.
Yeah, I feel the same way as Deuce. I got to see more of Daniel Jones with Indy.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm big believer in the Broncos defense. I think it'll be a little bit tougher, but I do think Indy's better, and I think Daniel Jones might be okay there. And I agree with Evan's talk about Shane Steichen, and I think it'll be a good fit. But I'll take Denver. Defense is too good.
I'm tempted to take the Colts, but I will take Denver in the game. But I have a feeling about this, and I'm going to be really wrong. This is the only one. This could be my one loss for the week.
Oh, okay.
425.
It's nice of you to forfeit one for us.
425 Fox. The 1-0 Eagles are at the 0-1 Chiefs.
Philly by 1.5.
Why is this game 425? Why isn't this the Sunday night game? This is a Super Bowl rematch.
Well, wait till you hear about the Sunday night.
I know.
I can't wait. Man, I'm going to go with Philly on the road in this one. I haven't given up on the Chiefs. I still think they're really dangerous, and they just got to get healthy. But right now, early in the season, they ain't quite ready to do it. I got Philly, too much talent.
Philly.
Yeah, I'll take Kansas City at home. I like the Chiefs when no one thinks they're going to win.
Yeah, but it's too early for that, Paul.
No, it's been.
No, I know what
off.
you're saying.
I mean,
everyone
is this the year they don't win the
I
division?
know,
Is this
I
the-
know.
They lost their second game in Week 18 last year. They're going to have 2 losses after 2 weeks. I like Kansas City when no one thinks they're going to win.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I think Hurts now. Granted, I only saw the first half, but I think Hurts looks like even better. I think for some reason,
I think Hurts is really good.
Yeah,
personally,
I think I think the Eagles beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. All right, now we go to the Sunday night game, 8:20. This is a dynamite matchup. The 0-1 Falcons at the 1-0 Vikings.
This week.
Yeah, the only thing that could have been worse is if they could have found a division game. So Minnesota by 3.5.
It's the battle of the mid-round quarterbacks from last year, mid-first rounders, right? Yeah, this is another. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. There's some good talent on both teams. I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings at home. And I'm going to, you know what? What did we say the score was? I'm sorry. I didn't
3.5.
listen. 3.5. I'm going to take the hook for Atlanta. I think it's a really tight one.
I'm going to take Minnesota both ways. Looking at how much time you have to make this decision.
Yeah.
Gotta hurry.
Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota because I'm so far behind. I can't afford to go so against the culture. But I'll take it. I'll take Atlanta.
He's already making
cover.
moves.
Right.
I'm embarrassed. It's embarrassing. I'm 8-8. I'm embarrassed.
He's desperate.
I think I feel I've lost like every year.
I'm like the Patriots and the Dolphins. I'm desperate in week 2.
Gotta find a way.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, Vikings win. I'm tempted to go both ways, but I'll take the points here.
Minnesota and Atlanta, you guys?
Yeah.
I'm with you, Freddie.
Yeah.
I'm with you. We're either going to clean up this week or I'm
Ride or
just gonna
die,
fall further
Paul.
behind.
Monday night, these stupid double headers.
Oh, I love the double.
Not when the second one starts at 10 at night.
I don't watch that one.
I know. So what's the
7 o'clock
Because now I can watch the 7 o'clock and not have to go to sleep.
Okay, all right. I'd rather have both of them start at the same time and let me go back and forth.
Oh, I'd be
talking.
interested.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd be interested in what you're selling.
I miss
Yeah.
picture.
But one of them is a West Coast game. But anyway, so at 7 o'clock, the 7 o'clock game is on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Deportes. It's the 1 o'clock, the 1-0 Buccaneers, led by Baker. They're at the Texans that are 0-1.
Houston by 2.5.
I didn't get a good beat on what Houston's result was this last week? I don't know.
They lost 14-9.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Hence 0-1.
This is another tough one. I feel like the two kind of evenly matched teams with similar questions. I'll go with the team with the better quarterback, I believe, in C.J. Stroud, and I'll lay the 2.5 points.
Ooh, fighting words for Freddie.
I'm going to take the upset here.
I am going to take Houston both ways. I think that defense will make life difficult on the Bucs.
I have no idea. I'm going to just go with Baker because the league's better with him in it. 10 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. Woo. ESPN Deportes, the 1-0 Chargers are against the 1-0 Raiders.
Chargers by 3. Did I miss the Universo for the Sunday night
there
game?
was no Universo.
No
I said, did I not say Universo?
I might have missed it.
I might have not said what games that on.
I always like the Universo.
NBC and Universo.
I got a lot of respect for how the Raiders played last week and how they knocked the Patriots off, but I thought Justin Herbert just looked phenomenal, and I think that team is peaking. So I'm going to take the Chargers, and I'll lay the 3 points.
Chargers.
Yeah, I would sort of go opposite of Deuce. I like the Chargers both ways. If I thought the Vegas came in here and did something special, I'd be like, oh, maybe we underestimated them. I kind of think they were what we thought they were. The Patriots weren't what I thought they were, and that's why they lost. But
I think Geno might have played a little better than I thought.
Geno definitely played better than I thought, but really nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes.
Yep. At one point, I said Raiders being Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting guys out of bounds.
Yep.
Like
The Raiders employees didn't care for that, Fred.
Chargers. I loved the way Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going with
looked at
Chargers both ways too. And that Justin, he did play really well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Feels like it's just coming
maybe this
together
is
for
the
him.
year for him.
It's the Madison
All right,
Beer
now we
effect.
go back
It really is.
to Sunday at 1. The 0-1 Patriots are at the 0-1 Dolphins.
The Dolphins by 1.5.
1.5.
So they're really underdogs.
Yes.
Yep.
That is correct.
I'm going to take New England. It's got to be a little magic, and there's got to be a little something maybe unexpected from them, surprising. Shutting down Tua would be that, but just a solid day from Drake May. Get some Ramondre Stevenson yards, get Travion in space, and just Drake take the profit and maybe make a couple throws down the end. I like New England to pull it out, have a big game. I'm going to say 22-21. I described it too, Paul. They go for 2 at the end. They come back, they score, field goal to tie it, 2 to win. They go for 2. You heard it here first, folks.
He gave me a little excitement.
New England 27, Miami 21.
Okay.
Can't do it. I've just had too many games down there that were automatic Patriot wins. It's not the first time this has happened. I gotta think Miami has at least some semblance of pride, and they show up to play. And if they do, I think they win 27-16.
What if the Patriots show up to play?
I think the Patriots will show up to play. I think they showed up to play Sunday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't question the Patriots' effort Sunday against the Raiders at all.
I
they
think if
played
both
hard.
teams show up to play, I think the Patriots are the better team.
Okay, I don't.
Okay,
That's why I'm picking Miami. But I don't think I think there's a good chance Miami doesn't show up to play.
Okay.
And you'll be right.
Yeah.
What's your score?
Patriots win, as I said on Tuesday, 31.
Let's go.
17. They break the 30-point schneid.
If the Patriots win, you will be right. There's no way it's going to be a close game in the Patriots. The Patriots are either going to blow them out or Miami's going to blow them out.
And that's what I think what's going to happen. They're going to start
existence,
fast, and they're going to never look back.
I'm with you.
Can't imagine.
I think if the Patriots win, that's the formula.
Yep. All right, we got it done. Thanks, everyone, for listening this week. We got the newsletter coming out this week. You want to subscribe to that by going to patriots.com/PU newsletter. A lot of fun stuff in there. We get a lot of good reviews. People enjoy it. It's just another addition to the content that we provide. Thank you, Alex. All right, so that'll be going out tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Buy apparel.
Hey, this is Evan. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure to like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.